to get a seltzer, and I just have to put our tags in. So come on in, grab a seat. I have my foot heater on, so if it's really annoying, I'll shut it off. I'll probably shut it off at some point. It's just a little bit. It's a little chilly tonight. It actually snowed a little bit, which is so weird because this doesn't usually happen before Halloween. No, now Halloween is over. Okay, good. Yeah. then we're right on to normal. I'm totally, I can't even believe I don't even know it. Okay. I'll be okay. So I hope everybody had a good November 1st. I thought today was Monday all day. Tomorrow I'll think it's Tuesday. What else did I do? Okay. Alright, let me just put our tags in. Oh, why does this say cookie baking? We're not doing cookie baking. Okay, and just so, so people know, we're not just doing this like just to do this. We're doing this because they are going to have a retrial of the penalty phase. They may end up having a retrial of the entire trial. In order for the penalty phase, they're going to almost retry the case just for the penalty phase, and they're going to introduce new evidence. As I've said before, my mother's the one that followed this case very extensively. I didn't. I don't think it was televised. There were a lot of sketches, portions of it we saw, but not the whole trial. So I am definitely not as familiar as I want to be with the trial, and this is helping me get a lot of information in a way that's, a way that we can all participate and have, some time together. So, but if somebody is like really opposed to this, and I have chocolate on my lip again every time, if somebody is really opposed to this, then I would just say then skip it or something, but please don't be like negative Nancy and come in and say, why are you guys doing this? I hate this. Because there's a lot of people that are liking it, and it's not something just frivolous because we are learning about the case and stuff. So I don't know. But it's I don't know, it just makes people feel bad, like especially people that are coming on panel for the first time and then just say, oh, when are we going to stop this? I hate this. I'm just putting the tags in. I'm going to grab a seltzer and then I'll come back. Okay. I just want to get this ready too. In the meantime, Cardinals look nice, Nana 14. I'm looking at Nana 14's Cardinals in there. I'm going to put the number. All right, let me get a, and we're going to have a grief panel, so I'll be in the grief group probably this week. And we're going to have a Patreon meeting. I know I've been slacking. Yes, we are going to have a Patreon meeting and a members only meeting. We're going to do something fun as soon as I want to try to do that this week too for both of them because I've been slacking. And keep the prayers going for Carol Boyce's family and for the community as a whole, Dreaming's daughter and Baxter's son's fiance and all of that, and everyone that's needing prayers. Okay, let me come back on now here. I just had a bad thing that my microphone wasn't on that whole time. Okay, let's see. I just don't know where the live chat is. No, it's not there. Let's go here. Content. Okay, live chat. Hashtag be prepared. I love that. I don't know where the live chat is. How come my live? Oh, because I'm not in the right video. Oh, shoot. Do it back and do something I didn't do. Okay. Hopefully. Oh, it's okay, because we're not. Okay, hi Kevin Leonard. Hi Whisper to Me. Hi Pat Miller. How are you? Elise, Miss Mary, Flower Girl Phillips, Isabel, Pat L, Lori Lamb. Hi Aurora, Tippy Toes, Liza Ward, Nana Patty, Newfie, Danielle Colby, right on time. I'm not, right? Well, Wonder Woman, how are you? Who else do we? Sean. Did I miss somebody else? Newfie. Newfie, I got your, just let me know what you want it called. I have to say I skimmed, so I think I know what you were asking. If I have it wrong, then just let me know. Davida Lane, how are you? How are the fires? How's your son's house? Is he back in? Let's see. Pixie Dust, how are you? I'm going to try to watch as long as I can. Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm not used to the time change, so I'm still running on an hour. Wait a minute. We're an hour back. I don't know what on my body is then. Then I just said something so totally wrong to Scooter. I said that it's really 1 o'clock, but that's not true. No, it is. No, wait a minute. We fell back. We fell back. Wait a second. I'm scaring myself again. It's 2 o'clock now. But it would normally be 3 o'clock. And I just told Scooter that I can't get on schedule because it's really 1 o'clock. Sorry, Scooter, that was totally wrong of me. So I don't know what my problem is then. Liz, so how far along in the trial? Liz, we are like witness, I think it's 20 something. We are. I'll tell you in a second. I'm going to go look at it right now. Tamlin, Elise, Alma, Judy, Marianne. Hello, Marianne. Henny's #1 fan. Hi, Mary. It would be 3:30, but yeah. See, I don't even know what I'm talking about then. Why do I feel like all full of vim and vigor right now? Vim and vigor, that's an old saying. Don't even ask me why I just pulled that one out. I have no idea. Purple Passion, hello. Lisa S, hello there. Let's see. Janine. Okay. Sun-kissed adrift. All right. If I missed you, Nightbot, Mary. I'm sorry, it was an intentional backdoor. Okay. Miley, how are you? Okay. Maggie. Who said where's Maggie? Maggie Hughes. She'll probably be in soon. Where is Kitty Cat or Kitty Cat? Kitty Cat. The one that had the dolls. Kitty Cat, where are you? Okay. You don't change, I know, in Arizona. Okay, so let me go. Here, let me see. Let me get the script. Okay, I'll tell you where we are. We are, you know what we didn't do though, because okay, here's the thing. When I started doing this, I started reading the opening statements and the from both attorneys, and then I kind of skimmed through the first few witnesses. We may have to go back and do those, but we didn't start until we got to witness 7, which was with the total reenactment, which was Amy Rocha, Lacey's half sister. From that, we've done every witness, no matter what, and we're going to continue that. So we are on. Let me see here. Okay, we just finished Quarter. No, John Hodson, David Quarter. Okay, so we are going to Derek Letzinger from the Modesto PD. And then after him, now there are some photos here, okay, that are introduced. And I think maybe I should introduce them since there's so many. Maybe I should introduce them before we start. I'm just going to introduce them now because we're going to be talking about them with the next witness. Okay, so let's see here. People's exhibits. We have this, the mop bucket. We have shown these before, but you know, now that we're at the witness. So here's the mop bucket. And this was, I guess, the back door where it was left. And then I don't know what they're having us look here, but just we're going to talk about this in there. And then we've got this and this picture. And that picture. And that picture. And the bed, and closet and the window, the closet again, this looks like a guest room maybe. The dining room. Oh, see, yeah, she had the crackers. That's when they were talking about the dining room table being set. She had just put down the crackers. That's it. Tree was up. Look at that. Isn't that an old-fashioned phone book? We're looking at something at the kitchen window. Oh, there's one of those little pigs. Okay. Stove. That's weird that that stove doesn't have any type of a vent above it unless it's a downdraft, but I'm not sure that I see the draft behind it. It would get pretty smoky inside the house if it doesn't have something. Okay, 2 stockings on the fireplace. So that looked like a cozy house. Did that have 2 fireplaces? Was there one by, am I dreaming, or was there a fireplace by the dining room? What are those? These are their Christmas cards, right? Okay, and the bathroom. Oh, here's the towels that supposedly the maid had left on top or something. But these look bloody-ish, don't they? Okay, so those are the pictures that we're going to be talking about. Now, I'll put them over here so that if we, during the testimony, want to pull them over, we can do that. But I just wanted to see about that fire, if there were 2 fireplaces in there. All right. Oh, yeah, look. It's a small house and it had 2 fireplaces, right? It's a very cute little, it's almost like a, I don't think it's, kind of reminds me of a Craftsman, but it's not. But it's very cute. Okay, all right, so is anybody coming on, or am I going to do this myself? Hang on. Let me find, looks like an older house. Yeah. Every time it makes me think that young life was just ended so soon. Absolutely, Janine. Did anybody want to, you never understood the time change business? No, I know. I always say that I'm going to protest it, but since nobody else does, I have to go along with it. That's a large dining room, and that table seats 8. Yeah, I don't know. Well, yeah, I guess. Let me see. But I think if we look over here, Ivy Lynn, where's the, okay, so this kitchen area, then you've got this living room or living room, I believe that's what it is, and then this chair. I'd like to see like a full floor plan of the house to see. This is very mid-century modern, those little nooks and crannies, or whatever the heck you call them. But see, is this the entrance door? Like this, I think, is the entrance door. So this is where you're seeing the seats. You know, I almost think that. Is this a basket on the wall? I think it is. That's cute. And the TV was in here. And then there's these 2 throw pillows here. It's funny because I don't know any of the questions, but I know they're going to be asking about these. Because they look, I thought somebody said that. It is, Ivy. It is a darling little house. It is. It's very nice. 2 brick fireplaces like that. Did she have the other one decorated with stuff? Wait, where's the dining room one? I'm surprised she didn't put little something over here. That's cute, this fireplace. And then, oh, the tree is right behind there. Look at that, Ivy Lynn. There's the tree right there, and I wonder whose present that was. Did we ever find, I wonder if that was, she bought something for Scott. There. You heard on the news very recently they're possibly doing away with the changing of clocks. Yeah, I hear that all the time, but they always have it. Hi, Gail. Maybe because she was not feeling well, Alma, with her pregnancy. I don't know. She was working. I don't know how long she's into that she stopped working. Okay, so are we ready? Is anybody coming on? Anyone? No one? Scooter? Nana? No one? Okay. All right. Yeah, these are of Lacey's home. They're going to be in the next witness. We're going to be discussing these. Okay? That's why I just pulled them up, because there were so many, and usually I pull them up after, but there are so many. Hi, Gail. You just came in? Okay, no problem. We didn't get started yet. We haven't taken the first witness yet. These are from Lovell, I guess CSO Lovell's camera from December 24th, 02, People versus Scott Peterson, and we've got someone here. I don't see anyone now. Where'd you go? No, I lost her. Pictures, okay. It's Nana Patty. Hello. How are you feeling?
I'm okay. I'm going to have to move those, so hold on a minute. Let me get moved.
Okay. This house was just like her down to earth. Yes, it was. It was very nice and cozy. Okay, so yeah, those were pictures of her house, and so the photo with the blue bucket and the mop at the outside door was the first one. Then there was a photo of the inside dining room hallway, photo of the hallway with a door with a wreath on it, a photo of the bathroom, photo of a doorway looking into the nursery, photo of the nursery crib, mobile dresser, photo of the nursery rocker window, photo of the master bedroom window dresser, photo of the master bedroom bed, photo with an open closet door, photo looking down the hallway, photo bed with blue bedspread, closet in the second bedroom, photo second bedroom looking into the nursery, photo of the Christmas tree, photo of the kitchen counter with the phone book, and knives. It says knives. I gotta look at that. Photo of the kitchen sink, window, etc. Photo of the kitchen stove, etc. Photo of the kitchen looking at the fireplace, photo of the living room, TV and the window, photo of shelves and 2 chairs, photo of shelves with Christmas cards, photo of couch, closet with washing machine, photo looking into the door of the second bathroom, photo with the vanity in the second bathroom, and a photo of a washer and dryer with dirty rags. Now that's weird. So was there 2 washing machines in there? Because they have, where did I just see that? Photo with the, they just said something about the washer and dryer with dirty rags, and then they said there was another photo with the closet with the washer. That's weird.
Who are we on?
We are on Derek Letzinger, 26. And this would be Monday, June 14th. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Let me try to find
Got it.
You got it? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So I can't find the chat. I just want to make sure of something. All right. Let me get mine. Let's see. Testimony. Okay. So this is June 14th, and DeStasso is going to start. Officer, you are in uniform. You are obviously a policeman with the Modesto Police Department, correct?
Yes.
And how long have you been a sworn peace officer in the state of California?
6 years.
And briefly, can you tell the jury what your duties are?
We provide assistance, protection for property, investigate crimes.
Are you a part of, I guess what I'm looking for, are you a part of the patrol division or the detective division? What?
Patrol.
What area do you work?
Patrol.
And were you working in the patrol division on December 24th of 2002?
Yes.
And did you get a call to go and assist or be involved in the investigation of a missing woman by the name of Lacey Peterson?
I did.
And can you just start at the beginning? About what time did you get this call?
It was about 1800 hours, which is 6 o'clock in the evening.
And you were just on kind of what, a routine patrol that night in the city of Modesto?
Correct.
And what happened next? Where did you go?
We were dispatched, and the officer who was dispatched on the call asked that we meet at East La Loma Park.
And where? I'm sorry, not where. Who was the officer that asked you to respond there?
Officer Evers.
Okay. Your Honor, I should have hung this up this morning. I forgot to, but let me put this diagram of the park up. It is... All right. Your Honor, this is People's 36. Okay. Okay, so you said that here, the pointer, here's the pointer if you need it. Just be careful with the jurors, don't hit them. You said you were dispatched to East La Loma Park. Is that the area right over here where the tennis courts are?
Correct.
Okay, you can go ahead and have a seat.
Okay.
And what about, how long did it take you, said about 6 o'clock that you got the call? How long did it take you to get to the park?
Roughly about 10 or 12 minutes.
So you were somewhere else in the city?
I was somewhere in the general area, but yes, not right there.
Okay, then, so you get to the park, and what happens next?
I got there and met with Officer Evers, who was already on scene, and he asked that I go back to the address on Covina and wait there.
Okay, and when you talk about the address on Covina, you're talking about 523 Covina?
Yes, correct. 523.
Let's mark this next in order. People's number 38. It's just another schematic, Your Honor, of the house. This one was getting a little filled up. All right. Officer Letzinger, do you recognize the People's 38 as a schematic diagram of the house at 523 Covina?
Yes.
And so you got sent over to that house, and what happened next?
I arrived at the house, and Officer Evers and Officer Spurlock arrived shortly thereafter.
When you got there, who did you meet with? What happened?
Well, Officer Evers and Officer Spurlock arrived, and after they arrived, Officer Spurlock and I went into the house to basically determine if there were any signs of suspicious circumstances at the house, any kind of evidence that we could see as to if there had been a crime occurred.
I think the court reporter sometimes messes up. When you went into the house, did you go by yourselves? I mean, what I mean by that is just you and Officer Spurlock.
Yes.
And what happened when you went inside?
Immediately upon walking in, and
You could just use the diagram. Use 38 if that helps. You can use the pointer, officer.
upon walking into this courtyard here, this is a wall. I noticed that there was a bucket with mops sitting outside this door here, and on the stone placed on the ground, there was some water that looked like it had been recently, the water had recently dropped on the stone.
Okay, I am just going to have you write that in there. Can you just write bucket? Do you remember how many mops there were?
I believe there were 2.
You can use that red pen. It's a little better to write. Just put an X down and write bucket, 2 mops.
Okay.
Okay. I'm going to have you keep writing there, so just hang tight for a second. Letzinger, not Spurlock. You saw that. What happened next?
We entered the house, and Officer Spurlock and I kind of separated, and I walked around into I guess this would be the easterly portion of the house.
And does this house have a garage?
No,
I mean, when I say that, I mean like a closed garage where you put the cars.
no.
And does it have like an area that looks like maybe it's a converted garage?
This area looks like it possibly was a garage at one time and then converted into living space.
All right. And so you went into the house and you said you went into that living room area.
Right, into this area here.
What did you see next? What was the next thing that caught your attention?
Walked in, and the next thing that I remember seeing was there was a pizza box that was opened, lying on the counter with a few pieces of pizza in it.
What's next then?
Walked down into the living room, and there was a rug that was scrunched accordion style, like it had been slid together, and it was slid all the way up to the door jamb of this door here, and the door was closed.
Can you just write down crumpled rug or something like that to describe where you saw that?
Okay.
Okay, what's the next thing that happened then?
Continued to look around this living room area and noticed that there were several rags, like just shop rags, that were laid out on top of the washer, dirty and wet rags.
Can you just put an X there where it says washer and dryer and just draw a line and put dirty wet rags, okay? Other than these things that you talked about here with the rug and the rags and whatnot, did you see anything else in this portion of the house that appeared to be out of order?
No, and that is the thing that struck me about these items was that the rest of the room almost was like a model home. Everything was in place. The chairs and rugs were all set. The magazines on the coffee table were all laid out. I mean, so these 2 items here stuck out to me.
Okay, what happened next then?
Finished looking around here and then went into the western portion of the house.
Okay, go ahead.
Went into the second bedroom here, which is kind of like a spare bedroom had a bed and dresser and stuff, and immediately upon entering the doors to the closet were open, and inside the closet I noticed that there was some soft-sided luggage, like duffel bags. There were a few up on the top shelf. One looked like it had been pulled down, but not all the way off the shelf, and then there were some lying on the ground.
Okay, did you notice anything on the ones lying on the ground? Were they open, closed? Can you tell me about them?
I don't recall if they were open or closed.
Okay, and if you could just, in that bedroom, I don't need to know exactly where the closet was. Can you just write duffel bags in closet, something like that?
Okay.
And Officer Letzinger, I don't know if you said this or not. The one on the floor, do you remember if it was right side up or upside down?
I don't recall.
Did you write a report about this?
I did.
Okay, and at the time you wrote the report, was the incident fresh in your mind?
Yes.
And did you write the report for the purposes of you documenting what you saw there that night?
Yes.
And if you looked at it, do you think it might refresh your recollection?
Yes.
So go ahead and take a look at your report and look at the first page.
Okay.
The fifth paragraph down.
In the report, I indicate that the one lying on...
Objection. That's improper. The objection is, does it refresh your recollection?
I'm sorry, yes, it refreshes my recollection.
For the record, he's referring to Bates stamp 33090. So what's your next question? Does that refresh your recollection as to the duffel bag on the floor, whether it's upside down or right side up?
Yes, it does.
How was it?
It was upside down.
And what happened next then?
After Officer Spurlock and I finished basically doing a walkthrough of the house, we met with Officer Evers, who was outside. And then we did another walkthrough immediately after with Officer Evers and Mr. Peterson.
When you went through the house the first time, other than these things that you pointed out to us, did you see any obvious signs of that the house had been forced entry into the house? Let's start there.
No.
So you didn't see any doors kicked in?
No.
Or windows kind of pried open?
No.
Or did you see the house, the condition that it was in, where there was furniture turned over?
No.
And were drawers pulled out or, clothes strewn about?
No.
And have you responded to burglary calls before?
Yes.
And those things I just described, have you seen those types of things in homes that have been burglarized?
Yes.
And I take it from what you're saying, you didn't see any of those kind of indications in this particular house.
No, there were very few indications. There were no indications that a burglary had occurred at the house.
You said that you went, after you doing this with Officer Spurlock, you went outside and you said you did another kind of walkthrough immediately with Mr. Peterson.
Yes.
And prior to that night, had you ever had contact at all with the defendant in this case?
No.
Did you even know he existed?
No.
So what happened next?
We walked through the house with Mr. Peterson to have him basically tell us if there was anything that he noticed that was missing out of the ordinary that could help us kind of direct where we were going to go next.
And what did he tell you?
There was nothing that he saw that was missing or out of the ordinary.
And what happened next then? What did you do with the defendant in the house, if anything?
We walked through.
Objection, vague. I think he can answer. Go ahead, you can answer that.
We walked through the house and basically asked him, do you see anything missing or out of the ordinary here? And we went through each room with the defendant.
What happened next?
We got done with that and we returned outside.
Okay, what's the next thing that happened then?
Officer Spurlock and I, shortly after going outside, we went to the house just to the north of the Peterson home and looked around the outside of the house to see if there were any signs of forced entry or anything suspicious at that house, because we were told that that house was vacant.
Before we get there, when you were going through the house with the defendant, were you present or did you go and look to see if Lacey Peterson's purse and personal belongings were there in the house?
Yes, we did.
And what happened with that?
We went to, I believe it was Sharon Rocha, who said that Lacey normally keeps her purse.
Objection, hearsay. Again, it goes to the reasonableness of this officer's conduct, what he was told, not to be offered for the truth, just to explain his conduct.
We were told information that Lacey normally kept her purse by the front door, and it wasn't there. I believe Scott Peterson told us that she also keeps it in the closet in their bedroom. So we walked back to their bedroom, and the purse was hanging on a hook right inside the door of the closet.
While after you looked, did you actually look into the purse, you personally?
I did not look in the purse. I believe Officer Spurlock took it off the hook. We walked over to the bed, placed the purse on the bed, and Officer Spurlock went through the purse to look for identification and those kinds of things.
Was that mostly Officer Spurlock's job, or was he the one who was just kind of handling that?
He did that, yeah.
Where were you when this was going on?
I was right next to him. Officer Evers and Mr. Peterson and I were in the room as well.
And that was on the People's 38. That was in the master bedroom.
In the master bedroom, correct.
What next? Did you then start to walk out of the house?
We did, yes.
And did you hear any conversation between Officer Spurlock and the defendant, in this case, Mr. Peterson?
Yes.
And just for the record, I didn't have you. Do you recognize Scott Peterson as he sits here in the court today?
Yes.
The man in the gray suit?
Correct.
What conversation did you hear between Officer Spurlock and Mr. Peterson?
Officer Spurlock asked him what he had been doing today, and Mr. Peterson replied that he had gone fishing.
Okay, before we get into that, can you just show the jury, use the pointer, can you show the jury where this conversation took place?
It took place as we were walking out of the master bedroom and down the hall, and I was walking in front of the two of them. I don't know which order they walked down the hall in.
Okay, and so you personally were not having this conversation with Mr. Peterson?
No.
Go ahead. What did you hear? You heard Officer Spurlock ask him a question?
Right, and Mr. Peterson replied that he had been fishing today, and by this time we had kind of stopped right in the common area of the house, and Officer Spurlock asked what he had been fishing for, and Mr. Peterson didn't know.
And did you hear anything else about the conversation?
Officer Spurlock asked him what kind of lure or bait he was using, and Mr. Peterson indicated that he was using a silver lure about, and he put his fingers up in front of him, indicated that about 7 to 8 inches long.
Did this conversation, have you reviewed Officer Spurlock's report?
Yes.
Is this conversation documented in his report?
It is.
Did you put it into your report?
No.
Why is that?
I basically didn't put it in there because I wasn't the one having the conversation with Mr. Peterson.
Okay, after Officer Spurlock had this conversation with Scott Peterson, what happened next?
I believe we excused Mr. Peterson and asked him to step back outside. And as he was leaving through the front door, got to about this area here in the front door, I believe you could see through, or it was open and I could see out, and Mr. Peterson threw his flashlight down on the ground. And then I heard something under his breath like a curse word. I'm not quite sure what it was, but heard something mumbled under his breath.
What happened next?
After that, I believe Sergeant Deerfield arrived, and we kind of ran down what we had learned so far.
Where did you talk to Sergeant Deerfield?
We initially spoke with him in this common area here, and then we kind of, all four of us, Officer Spurlock, Officer Evers, Sergeant Deerfield, and myself, walked back out to the front yard area. That's where we kind of, I guess, powwowed a little bit to determine what we were going to do next.
And then, what's the next thing that you personally did in the investigation?
After that, that is when Officer Spurlock and I went to the house just to the north of 523 Covina and looked at that house to see if...
And is that, we have had prior testimony that there was a vacant home and the woman's name was Reed that lived there. Is that what you were told?
I don't believe I was told her name, but
Objection, leading. Well, what he was told is I'll sustain the objection. That's fine. The fact he was told it was a vacant house, that's okay. Again, this explains his conduct. Who lives there? Can you do this, Officer Letzinger, so that we're clear on the diagram? Can you just put vacant house on the side of that house where it was?
sure.
And what happened next? Then you said you went through that house?
Officer Spurlock and I first walked around the exterior of the house to see if there were any signs of forced entry or anything on the outside, and didn't see any signs. As we walked around to the front of the house, I believe, I don't remember who it was, but somebody said that the owner of the house was there. So we went to the front door, and that's where we met with George Reed.
Okay, and what did he tell you?
He said that,
Objection, hearsay. Sustained. Okay, you met with him and he did let you into the house?
yes,
Go ahead. What happened next?
he told us that he had already,
Objection, hearsay. It's the same question. And unless you're trying to explain the officer's conduct that happened, was he given a certain information and he acted on that information? Otherwise, it's hearsay. That's all it is. Let me ask in a different way, Your Honor. All right. Don't tell me what Mr. Reed told you, just that you were standing there at the door with him, correct?
yes,
Did he open it for you?
yes,
You went inside?
yes.
Just let me tell you what you did. Just tell me what you did.
Officer Spurlock and I basically did another walkthrough of the house to determine if there were any signs of a burglary, any suspicious circumstances that might have occurred inside the house, inside that vacant house.
Did you find anything at all?
No.
Did you go into all the rooms of the house?
Yes.
What about the garage?
We went into the garage as well.
Were there any cars in the garage?
There was at least one. I don't remember if there were two.
Did you look inside the cars?
Inside the passenger compartment and the trunk.
And did you find when you went through the house, did you look in the bedrooms
Yes.
and into all the bathrooms?
Yes.
And did you look behind the shower curtains in the tub?
Yes.
And did you find any indication in that particular house that anything improper had been going on there?
No.
And after you came out of that house, what happened next?
We again met with Officer Evers and Sergeant Durfeld, explained that we hadn't seen anything unusual at that house. And at that point, Sergeant Durfeld and Officer Evers asked that we go down to East Loma Park and continue to search that area.
Okay, let me go back. When you first arrived at the park, you said it was around 6 o'clock. Was it light or dark?
It was dark.
And after you did these things you told us about, and you went back down to the park, you went back down there to search the park, was the park dark?
It does have lighting in the park, but it's for the most part, it's dark.
What about the lighting around the tennis court, parking lot, tennis court area? Is there lighting there?
It's fairly well lit, yes.
What about on Covina? Are there lights? Are there street lights?
Yes.
Do you remember if they were lit that night?
They were lit, yes.
Okay, so you went down, and what was the temperature at this time? I don't know. I'm not looking for an exact temperature. Just was it hot or cold?
It was cold.
Okay, and so you went down, you searched the park, and can you just tell the jury that they are kind of familiar with the park now? Just tell them where you went.
We walked down Covina to the entrance. We walked west towards the pump house and on the south side of the park, and then crossed over to the north side and back in an easterly direction.
Okay, and if we're looking at People's 36, if this is Covina, it's already been labeled, and you went down the trail here,
Right,
and then you said you walked this way
right,
to the left,
correct,
and then you searched on this, crossed over, and searched the other side?
correct.
And where in the park did you search? I mean, what portions of it? Were you walking the path? Were you going, trampling through the bushes?
We trampled through the bushes since we had been told that she possibly had gone to the park to walk. We figured that the bushes on the side area of the park would be an area where she would not be seen. So that's where we looked.
And obviously, you didn't find any indication that Lacey Peterson had been there.
No.
Okay, what's the next thing that you did in this particular investigation?
After searching the park for a time, we were asked to come back to Covina, as well as all of the family and friends and citizens that had come out to the park to look as well. We asked that all of them clear the park because the sheriff's department helicopter with the infrared device was getting up in the air, and we needed the park cleared so that they could use their infrared.
Did you do that then?
Yes.
And did you come up? Did you see the helicopter flying around?
Yes, it eventually was up in the air and made several passes up and down the parkway.
And what's the next thing that you were asked to do as part of this case?
After the helicopter had completed its passes of the park, we were asked to go back in the park and continue to hand search the area. I was down there for a short time, and Sergeant Durfeld asked that I come back up and stand by at 523 Covina for the ID technician to respond.
Do you know who that was?
I don't know his title. I believe ID technician Lovell, Lovell.
And did you do that?
Yes.
And what happened when he showed up?
He arrived. I was asked by Detective Brozzini to instruct Mr. Lovell on some certain items that Detective Brozzini wanted done, particularly pictures of the residents, specifically pictures of the items that I had seen that were kind of out of the ordinary, as well as collecting the bucket and mops and the wet rags that were on the washing machine.
Okay, did you take ID Tech Lovell around and have him do these things?
Yes.
And was everything the same as when you went around was everything the same as when you went around the house as it had been before?
Not everything.
Uh-oh. What was different?
One thing was strikingly different was the rug that had been crumpled up accordion style up against the door was now laid out. Not completely flat, but I remember when I saw it the first time it was crumpled up to just, less than 1.5 feet, and it had been laid out almost flat.
Okay, can you put on there where you wrote crumpled rug, can you just draw a little, like a line on there and write 2 and then put rug straight, something like that?
Okay.
And did you see who straightened that rug?
No.
What happened next then? What's the next thing that you did after you did this with ID Tech Lovell? What's the next thing that you did?
Then I went back into the park for a short time to continue the search, and at some point after that, Sergeant Durfeld asked that I...
Objection, hearsay. Again, this is being offered to explain his conduct, reasonableness of his conduct. Overruled. Go ahead.
Sergeant Durfeld asked that I go back to the station to complete my report and my watch.
And did you do that?
Yes.
And you went off duty at the end of that?
I believe it was 1:30 in the morning, yes.
Did you do anything else other than this initial night? Did you do anything else as part of the Lacey Peterson investigation?
And sometime in April, and I have the report to refresh my memory.
Was it something was it something with the press briefing?
Correct. Do you want the exact date?
I'm not worried about that.
Okay.
Did you do anything else, any other searches, or were you involved in any other parts of the investigation other than what you've told us about?
No.
Now let me show you a binder, and this is People's 37, and you can take just a moment and flip through all those pictures and tell me when you are finished.
Okay.
Do those pictures accurately represent the condition of 523 Covina as it appeared on December 24th, 2002?
Yes.
Are those the pictures that ID Tech Lovell took?
Yes.
Let's just kind of go through those. Your Honor, I'm going to use this screen. Mike, do you want to get the lights, please? First one, 37. 37A is the picture of a bucket and two mops. Is that the picture you remember seeing it?
Yes.
There is no wet spots around there. When you first got there, what was the time?
We arrived at the house roughly about 20 minutes after 6 in the evening.
And when you told us, the first thing that you did was you walked in and you did that initial walkthrough with Officer Spurlock.
Correct.
And do you know what time these pictures were taken?
Roughly about 11:30 in the evening.
And other than the water, the wet or the dampness that you saw, are the mops and the bucket the same place you saw them?
Yes.
And let's go to the next one. What are we looking at here?
This is a view down the hallway from the common area, roughly in this area right here, looking in a westerly direction.
Hold on, let me just put the, I'm just going to put these up over here. Well, oops, that's not done. Hold on a sec. I lost my pictures. Here they are. I'll put these up while we're talking. Okay, they'll be right there. All right.
I couldn't hear you.
Oh, I didn't go yet.
Oh, okay.
I just have to get my place back.
Okay.
Okay, hang on. And where did you put it? Okay, here. Oh, hold on. Okay, we got the mops, and then roughly. You said
The
11:30.
judge
Other than the okay, we're at the judge now. Okay.
Yeah.
Toward the master bedroom, correct?
What's the master bedroom? Correct. That
Is
must
this
be a
the
typo.
hallway area where the conversation with the defendant and Officer Spurlock was kind of taking place?
Yes.
Oh, so we should be 37D. Okay, this is, no, 37D is here. Okay. Let me see who that is.
Right.
Okay.
This is a photograph of the same hallway taken more from this doorway here, looking again in a westerly direction towards the master bedroom.
Okay, hang on. Let's grab these. Okay. In a westerly direction. Okay. So are we looking? So where is this? The hallway conversation? Yes, in a westerly direction towards the master bedroom. That's what you said, right? Okay. And 37D, which is this.
That's the hallway.
That would be the bedroom 1 on the diagram.
Yes.
I'm confused with these numbers because this one says 37D and it's the bathroom. Okay. I wonder if we have the, I don't know. Okay. And this would be 37E.
Okay.
Go ahead. What is that?
That's looking into the nursery from the doorway or just outside in this hallway area here.
Okay. And then we have 37F.
Again, looking into the nursery from right inside the doorway.
Okay. And then 37G.
Another one of the nursery, obviously.
Right. And then 37H.
I believe this is a photograph of the master bedroom looking right and basically in this direction here from the doorway.
Okay, 37I.
Another photograph of the master bedroom.
That's just showing the bed.
Right.
Okay, and 37J.
It's another photograph of the master bedroom from this side of the room looking this direction towards the closet.
Okay, and 37, let's see. Okay. Did I lose track? He's saying this anyway. Did I lose track? Is this 37K?
Yeah.
I have 37L for this photograph.
Okay, I thought I lost track. There you go. What are we looking at with 37L?
This is the area in the closet, just inside the closet doors, where her purse, where Lacey Peterson's purse was hanging.
Is that it right there?
Correct.
Okay, and is that the purse that Officer Spurlock took over to the bed and looked through?
Correct.
And then what are we looking at in 37M over here?
This is a photograph looking in an easterly direction from the master bedroom down the main hallway.
Right. It's like looking out of the master bedroom?
Right.
Okay, the next picture.
This is looking into the spare bedroom from the doorway right here.
What's the number of that?
I have 37N like Nora.
Okay, so next picture 37O.
Oh, correct. This is a photograph looking from inside the second bedroom toward the closet area, and in the photograph, kind of the center up towards the top, a little over the right in that area is where one of the soft-sided luggage duffel bags was hanging off of the top shelf.
Okay, and I see it right there. It's right here, right? Where I'm circling? Yeah.
Correct.
Okay. Where I'm putting the mouse now.
Correct.
Okay. There is a duffel bag on the floor there.
Right.
Is that the one you described as being on the floor?
Correct.
Okay, and 37P?
37P. This is a photograph from the inside the second bedroom door looking out across this hallway, and you can also see into the nursery across the hall.
All right, and then 37Q.
That's a photograph of the dining room.
And just...
From, let me orientate myself here. I believe we're looking in this direction towards these double doors here. You see kind of in the center of the photograph.
Okay, okay,
37.
okay, 37R.
This is a photograph taken from just inside the entry door, looking in a southerly direction this way, where the Christmas tree and Christmas presents had been set up.
Okay, 37S.
I'll have to orientate myself here to the kitchen. This is taken from this small sitting area here in this direction here.
Okay, next picture. What do you have for that one?
37T like Tom.
Okay,
And this is a photograph of this sink and counter area on the southern wall of the kitchen.
okay, and then 37U.
And this photograph was taken from in here, this small sitting area, taken through the kitchen and into the living room area.
Okay, and then we have 37V like Victor.
This was taken from inside the kitchen across the countertop, and the doorway indicated on the schematic is seen there in the left side of the photograph.
Okay, and then we have 37W.
Again, taken from just inside the living room of the living room area.
Okay, and this one is a little bit out of order, but what is 37X?
37X is taken from this area here with the entry door shut through this wall here, which is, well, you can see it's kind of like a chubby area into the sitting cubby area into this seating area here.
Can you do me a favor? Take that red pen and just label this room, the sitting room, so we have something to designate it. And let me move to the next picture. These are those cubby holes we saw in the picture.
Correct.
Good. Is that what we see here? Is that Y or is that Z?
I have 37Z, and this was taken from roughly this area in the living room toward the washer and dryer.
Okay, next picture.
orientate myself here. This was taken roughly from the same area in the living room and a photograph towards this second half bath here.
Okay, and can you see the door where the mops and stuff were?
Yeah, you can see that door to the far left in that photograph, which is indicated here on the schematic.
Okay, and then this next picture, BB, okay, what are we looking at there?
Into the second bathroom.
Okay.
Correct.
All right, and let's see, and then CC, is this CC? Let me see here, what are we looking at? This is CC, okay. What are we looking at
That's what I
now?
have. That's what I have, yes.
Okay, are those the rags and stuff you saw on top of the washer?
Yes.
Is that the location that you saw them when they were there that night?
Yes.
And finally, 37DD, that's the rug that you had seen crumpled up?
Yes.
And then when you say later it was straightened out, is this the condition that you saw it when you saw it later?
Yes.
Your Honor, that is all that I have. Okay, why don't we kind of work backwards? Hold on, he's got not my voice. I've got it.
Your Honor, I'd like you to recuse yourself and I can take over as judge.
Okay. All right. Why don't we kind of work backwards? Rug that you saw there. Okay, this location. Can you point exactly where that rug was in the house on the schematic that we have marked as People's 38, right?
It was crumpled up, like I said, accordion style, up against the door jamb.
Door jamb. And the door jamb that you're talking about is right there. It's the door that was, when you went into the house, was unlocked.
I believe it was unlocked, yes.
Okay, you want to write unlocked door right there, and that was one of the things that you thought was a little suspicious. True?
The crumpled rug, yes.
The other thing you thought was a little suspicious, I don't want to jump ahead here, you're marking unlocked door, a rug that was crumpled next to it, right?
Yes, I can.
Now that rug, did somebody take that rug as evidence?
No.
But you just left it. You thought it was suspicious and you left it.
Well, the thing that I thought was suspicious was the condition the rug was in when I originally saw it.
Okay, did anybody take it into evidence?
No.
Okay, how about this right here? When you got this in front of you, I think this one there marked, I don't have it. What's the exhibit number? Is that 37CC?
No, the photograph is 37A.
Okay, 37A. This is the mop. Actually, there are two mops, right?
Yes.
One is here,
Correct.
the blue pole that I'm pointing to with the cursor.
Correct.
There is another. There's another one inside of the bucket, right?
Yes.
Okay, and that is specifically where on the map?
Here, where I indicated
A bucket and two mops.
2 mops.
And that's when you would walk in from the front gate and you walk in to the front doors and you saw the bucket and 2 mops right by the front doors, right?
Well, we had used this door here as a point for orientation as the front door. So I don't know what the residents consider the front door, but this was the door that we had used as the front door.
You said it was a little bit wet right around there, right? You said right where I got that cursor.
Yes.
As if somebody might have just put the bucket outside and the moisture had made a stain.
Or had just put the mop in the bucket.
Right, either one.
Right.
You thought it was suspicious, right?
Yes.
Okay. At the time, I'm talking about at the time.
Right.
Now, there's absolutely no evidence that would suggest that anything to do with anything, but at the time you thought it was suspicious.
Objection.
Your Honor. This is compound and argumentative.
It is argumentative. I don't understand what the evidence is going to show.
No, I do.
I know. We got to wait until it gets in an orderly fashion, Mr. Garagos, okay?
This bucket right here is one of the things, combined with the crumpled rug, that you said was suspicious, right?
Correct.
And the reason you thought it was suspicious is because it was a little bit, there was like a wet ring around the bottom. Is that correct?
Right.
Okay, moisture, basically.
Right.
Now, that both those mops in the bucket were collected as evidence that day, right?
Yes.
Or that evening.
Yes.
Without receipts or search warrant or anything else, you guys just took it.
I did not collect them, so I don't know what was left or what.
You didn't have a search warrant, did you?
Not to my knowledge at that time, no.
Okay. So as far as you know, you guys just took it.
I don't know what the reasoning for taking it was.
Because you thought it was suspicious.
Well, I thought it was suspicious, yes, but I wasn't the one that had directed the ID tech as to...
Okay. Now, is it stuck? Yeah. You're going the wrong
You're-
way. Let's go to the other thing that you, wait a second right there. See this? See, right, what's right there? I'm pointing to. Is this a bathroom, right?
Yes.
Now, you pointed out to the jury which bathroom is that?
Bathroom number 1.
Okay, bathroom number 1 next to the master bedroom.
Correct.
Okay. Does that look to you like some kind of curling iron that's hanging up there, hanging up right here? Something a woman might use to do a fun flip in the morning after she gets up? Objection. It's argumentative.
Overruled.
It calls for speculation.
Let's start with the curling iron. Leave the rests. I don't know how a woman is going to do her hair. Do you know anything about how women do their hair?
Just based on what Amy Rocha told me when she testified.
I know she said.
That was a curling iron that you...
That's the way it looks.
Did you think that was suspicious, that the curling iron out there?
Not inside a bathroom, no.
Was everything else in the bathroom orderly and in place?
As I would expect a bathroom in a lived-in home to be, yes.
Didn't look like anything was out of order, right?
No.
Now, this is the nursery.
Yes.
Okay. Now, we have previously said it looks like it's got a nautical or a boat theme through here. Is that correct?
I would...
Looks like a boat, so like a life preserver, correct?
Yes.
The coral, the starfish.
Uh-huh.
Okay. Would you concede that it's a nautical theme?
I would concede that it's a nautical theme.
Okay, still in the nursery,
Yes.
where there are some things stored in the nursery. This bag here, for instance.
I don't recall, but I'm guessing if the bag is in there, there were some things stored in there, yes?
Pictures from whatever view is not very clear here, is it?
Correct.
Is it better there?
Let me make my way to that one there. Not much.
Okay, do you remember as you sit here today what the condition of the nursery was?
Much like the condition of my child's nursery before she was there, everything was waiting.
Okay, you put stuff in there, it's stored.
Stored, yes.
Now this location, what is this rug over here?
I don't recall what that was.
Okay, how about this over here?
Looking at the pictures, it looks like possibly some pillows.
Okay, what picture is that exhibit on?
In this book, it is 37H, like heavenly.
Okay, this is the bed in the master bedroom?
Correct.
Okay, did you make that bed?
No.
Okay, was the bed made like that when you took the picture?
Well, the bed was laid out like that, yes, when ID Tech Level took the photograph.
Where were you when he took the photograph? Were you there?
Yes.
And what exhibit number is that?
37I, like Ida.
Okay, what door is this?
This is the door to the closet in the master bedroom.
Okay, was this how the door was?
When I originally entered the room, I don't recall if it was open or closed or if it looked like that.
Okay, so as best you recall, the door, when you went in, the doors could have been closed. Somebody opened it so that when you took the picture, you could see what you were taking the picture of.
That's a possibility, yes.
Okay. Now that's specifically what the exhibit number of that. What's
The photograph
yes.
is 37J like John.
And can you draw what the closet was on the picture and just write master closet?
The closet is indicated by these two open doors on the schematic
Okay, you just want to mark that down?
as master closet.
Master closet, that's another view of the same closet.
Correct.
So if the doors were not open, you would have touched the doors to get this view for the ID tech level to take the picture, correct?
Right.
And specifically, did it look to you to be a woman's closet? Did there appear to be two closets in this house, one that was in the master bedroom, which you labeled the master closet, and then you talked about another closet. I think to the jury there was some duffel bags and items in the second bedroom.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Did it appear to you at least that this closet was filled with women's clothing and the other one in the master bedroom?
I don't recall looking at the photograph. This looks like it could be both, one or the other. I don't recall.
Okay. This is a close-up of the same edge of the master bedroom closet, right?
Right.
And what's that exhibit number?
That photograph is exhibit 37L like Lincoln.
Okay. Then this view right here, does that take you into the hallway into the second bedroom?
No, this would be if you were standing.
Use the pointer.
If you were still...
If you were standing roughly right here in the master bedroom, looking down, or I'm sorry, in an easterly direction through the hallway, it would be that photograph there.
Do you see this little, appears to be an alcove right here? Can you point that out to the jury where that is?
This on the left-hand side of the photograph.
Yes.
Yes, that would be this area right there here. You can see.
That's how you would enter into the second bedroom, correct?
Well, the second bedroom would be right around there. You can't actually see the doorway to the second bedroom from that photograph.
You have to go through and around, correct?
Right out that doorway and then hang an immediate left into the second bedroom.
Which would, by the view that we're looking at here, be what exhibit?
Well, this is 37M like Mary, and that dark slip just outside right there indicated by the arrow is actually, you're actually seeing a little bit into the nursery. You can see the white leg.
I guess what I'm getting at here is the view that you got with the camera shooting this way. What you see in there is an alcove, is a part of the nursery. So you want to go into the next bedroom, you can just go and around. You could go out and around, correct?
Correct.
Now this is the second bedroom. So you go out and around. You go into this room, correct?
Correct.
And once you're in this room, then the other closet that's marked right here by the second bedroom, correct?
Correct.
Okay, and then as you sit here, you don't remember if the doors were open or closed, but if they were closed, you would have had to open them so you could take the picture, right? Correct?
No, these doors were open when I entered the bedroom originally.
Like somebody had come home, put their stuff away to get dressed? Objection. Calls for speculation.
Sustained.
Okay. Now these doors that were open into the man's closet, you see the ties that are here, these dress shirts that are here, and everything else. Does that appear to you to be the men's closet to you?
Looking at that photograph, it appeared that the majority of the clothes are men's clothes.
Okay. That's, what's the exhibit number?
That is 37O like ocean.
So, another picture looking into the nursery, correct?
Correct. From the second bedroom.
Now, this is what exhibit? 37Q?
Q like queen.
Okay. Did you set the table?
No.
Okay. Was the table set like this when you arrived?
Yes.
Okay. Now, can you tell me what these items are that I'm pointing to?
I thought they might possibly be gifts or something. I don't know. They looked like they were or wrapped something,
Some kind of wrapped item.
like a Christmas wrap, yes.
Okay, and these are candles that the cursor is on right here?
Yes.
And then some kind of salt and pepper shakers?
Either that or like a votive candle or something like,
I think you're right. I think those are candles. And is there a, when you look at these, there's like, might be napkins wrapped around utensils?
I don't know what was inside there.
Okay. Specifically, where was this that we're pointing to?
On the schematic,
On the schematic, yes.
that would be if you were standing in this general area looking this direction.
Could you draw a picture of where the dining room table was set?
Dining room table basically sat in the center of the room where the word dining room is.
Okay. Now, was there another area where you could eat in this house, like a sit down to a table? You remember that?
I don't recall any other tables that a person would call a dining table, no.
Okay. And this is the tree. Where was the Christmas tree?
As I indicated before, the Christmas tree was right here. I guess this would be in the southeastern corner. I'm sorry, that's the courtyard. Southeastern corner of the dining room.
Do you want to mark where that was?
Sure.
That's what exhibit?
That photograph is 37R Robert.
As you have already described it, right?
Yes.
Anybody take into evidence this mug right here?
Not that I know of, no.
And what exhibit number is this?
That photograph is 37S like Sam.
Anybody take into evidence any of those glasses that are sitting on the counter? What is this, 37T?
37T like Tom. No, those glasses were not collected. But when we had done our walkthrough with the defendant, I asked him about the number of glasses, and he said that those were his glasses, that he drank water when he arrived home.
How about this mug over here? Did you ask him about that?
I didn't know.
Okay. And this is looking into, what is that front room? What somebody has labeled at least the living room, right?
Correct.
Picture from the sitting room and down into the living room.
Correct.
That's what exhibit number?
That photograph is 37U like Union.
Okay. Another picture of the same room, correct?
Correct.
And it's marked with the washer and dryer you have taken. Lovell has a very panoramic view of this room in order to get various angles of it, correct?
Correct.
This is a view that we're looking at in the same room, somewhere in the direction of the washer dryer, correct?
Correct.
Now, the washer dryer, is that in the front room? I mean, there's like a little basket there, right? Right here, correct?
Yes.
And then these, you can't really tell from here, kind of like accordion doors that open and shut.
Correct.
Is the bathroom, if you keep continuing, you're going to point that out to the jury. Where would that
Yes. Yes, this would be, if you were standing roughly in this area, looking in this direction, you can see the doorway there to the second bath.
And this is just a head-on shot of the bathroom. What is that exhibit number on that?
That photograph is, let me get there, 37 double B like boy.
Okay. Now, if these are the accordion doors that I was talking to you about, or pocket doors, I think they're accordion doors.
Accordion doors, right.
Now, insofar as the things that were kind of piqued your curiosity, so to speak, when you went in there, the mops, because there was a little ring of moisture, correct?
Correct.
A mop in a bucket, and then the rug, correct?
The crumpled rug, yes.
And then these things right here, right? This was the other thing, at least in your report that you had put down, had caught your attention.
And the duffel bags that were laying out on the second bedroom closet.
Now, did you collect those rigs?
ID Tech Level did, yes.
So, they could have been tested for evidence, correct?
For whatever purpose the detective wanted them, correct.
You guys weren't going to wash them. You were going to test them for evidence, correct?
Correct.
Now, you did some other stuff that evening in the house, didn't you? You and ID Tech Level. Didn't you guys have pictures taken of various areas for luminol, and you're looking for blood splatters and things of that nature?
No,
Oh, you didn't do any of that.
no.
Did you do any kind of a search to see if there was any kind of foul play in the house?
That was the purpose of the walkthrough. Officer Spurlock and I, and then with the defendant, to see if there was anything that indicated foul play or any kind of suspicious circumstances inside the house.
Now, when you did your report, you specifically said you saw a small rug and you noticed a door. The door, the buckets, the mops were next to it. It was in this room. Did you mean that they were wet or there was moisture?
I also noticed that the door of the bucket and mops was in this room. That's what I'm saying, is that in this room, meaning the living room.
Right.
The door, meaning this door here, was the door that the mop and buckets were next to.
So you saw a mop and a bucket, and you saw those towels and the crumpled rug, and was around a little ring around there, a little farther away, and that's what led you to be suspicious, right?
Those things, yes.
Okay. Now, you said specifically you didn't see anything else in the room that appeared unusual, right?
Right.
Okay. And now you also said there's no obvious signs of foul play in the house, correct?
Correct.
And you talked about going on a search of the house that was located next door.
Correct.
And that was because Mr. Peterson had told you that the house was vacant. Isn't that correct?
I don't recall who told me it was vacant, but I was told.
Okay. You didn't know it was vacant, right?
No.
As far as you know, you have never been to that house before, right?
I know I have never been to either one of those houses.
Okay. So the information came from Mr. Peterson, didn't it? The house next door was vacant. Objection. It's been asked and answered.
All right. I lost my spot.
Sustained.
Sustained.
Okay.
Sustained. Sorry.
That's okay. When you got there at the house next door, let's take it down the timeline, okay? You got there at approximately 6:30.
Got to where?
523 Covina.
I have the exact time in my report. I could look at it.
You say you were dispatched at 1800 hours.
Roughly, yes.
So what time would you have arrived?
If I may look at the report,
Sure.
I arrived at the 523 Covina at 1827 hours, which is 6:27.
Okay, what page of that report are you looking at?
That's actually on the printout of the call history.
When you arrived, he was not there, right?
I think I was the first officer at the house.
Okay, so the best of your recollection is when you arrived, you're the first guy there.
First officer there, yes.
Okay. Were you with anybody, any other partner, officer?
No.
Okay. When you arrived at the house, is that the first place you went to? Did you go to the park first?
We originally went to the park.
Okay. So you went to the park. Who did you see?
Officer Evers was there. I remember Sharon Rocha being there. There were several people there. I remember the defendant was there as well.
And what was he doing?
They all had flashlights, milling around, looked like they were looking for something or someone.
Okay, so you saw Scott Peterson with the flashlight looking.
Correct.
You saw Sharon Rocha. Did you see Ron Gransky?
I don't recall seeing him, no.
Okay. Now, did you ever see Ron Gransky at the park when you went down there?
Yes.
Okay. When?
After Officer Spurlock and I had gone to the vacant house to the north, finished there, Sergeant Durfeld asked us to go to the back. And that's when Officer Spurlock and I searched the area there by the Covina footbridge or foot entryway. I saw Mr. Gransky, actually had a conversation with him by the footbridge on the north side of the park.
Can you point to the map where which is marked as People's 36.
Sure, this arrow here indicates the footbridge that goes to the north side.
Somebody has already marked it. Is that an accurate representation of where the footbridge is?
Yes.
Now, I didn't precisely ask it, so I apologize.
Okay.
You did not see Mr. Gransky the first time you went to the park. That's where you were immediately dispatched to, right?
Right.
So when you arrived, you see Evers and you see Durfeld.
I don't recall seeing Durfelt when I first arrived at the park.
Evers and Spurlock.
I don't recall see Spurlock either.
Just Evers.
Just Evers.
You see Evers and you're having a conversation. You go straight to the house.
Yes.
When you go to the house, you left Scott Peterson at the park, correct?
Yes.
And when you arrive at the house, you're allowing people to go in and out of the house.
No.
You set up, you do something to prevent these people from coming in and out.
Basically, my presence to prevent people from going in and out.
You're in a uniform, you got a marked patrol car, you parked out front.
Yes.
And was there anybody in the house when you arrived?
I don't know if there was anybody when I arrived. When Officer Spurlock and I went in the house, there was nobody else in the house.
Okay. And did Officer Spurlock and you go through the house together by yourselves?
Yes.
Okay. And after you did that, did you then come outside?
Yes.
Okay. And when you did that, did you, were you met by Durfeld?
I don't believe Durfeld was there at that time. After Officer Spurlock and I did our initial walk through the house, we came back out and met with Officer Evers, and this is when Officer Evers, Officer Spurlock, and I walked through the house with Mr. Peterson.
Okay. So if I've got this right, the first time you go there, Scott is in the park, you and Evers go in through the house.
Officer Spurlock and I go through the house.
You and Spurlock go through the house, then Evers shows up, and immediately afterwards Scott Peterson.
Well, the timeline was basically I arrived, Officer Spurlock and Officer Evers arrived. Officer Spurlock and I then go through the house basically to make sure that there's no crime scene or no people inside the house that could harm us or anyone else. After we determine that it's safe for anyone else to enter, we come back out, advise Officer Evers that there's no dangerous people in the house. Then that is when Officer Spurlock, Officer Evers, and myself walked through the house with Mr. Peterson.
Okay, now in that discussion that you overheard, that was between Spurlock and Scott Peterson, correct?
Correct.
And you didn't write anything about it in your report, correct?
Correct.
Also, that Scott is getting mad, he's throwing a flashlight down. You didn't put that in your report, did you?
No.
And in fact, when was the first time that you have told anybody about that remembrance?
About which remembrance?
The flashlight thrown to the ground today?
No, we told Sergeant Durfeld about it that night as he was there.
Have you seen any reports, either Durfeld's, Evers, yours, Spurlock's, anything that mentions that?
I haven't seen any report that mentions it, no.
But, okay. Okay, in the limited reports you have seen, has it been mentioned anywhere?
No.
Now, when you go out, you go through the house with Scott Peterson. He says that he was at the Berkeley Marina, correct?
I don't recall hearing him say where he was at when he went fishing.
Do you remember what he said when he came back?
I don't recall him saying when he arrived home. I recall him saying that at some point during the night he left between 10 and 10:30 in the morning.
That's what you recall him saying.
That's when he left the house.
To go fishing.
Right.
And did he tell you that he was going to go walk the dog that she was going to go walk the dog in the park?
I don't recall if he told me that or if I heard that through other people that were out there that night.
And did you also say that he thought that she was going to, she had told him, Lacey had told him she was going to go get groceries or pick up groceries?
I don't recall hearing that.
Okay. Do you recall him looking in the refrigerator and saying that obviously she didn't go grocery shopping? There wasn't any new groceries.
I don't recall that.
Do you remember him going to the refrigerator
Yes, I do.
and checking out whether or not there was something or whether there appeared to be any new items that had been purchased?
I don't recall what comment he made when he opened the refrigerator.
Now, when you went and saw that he got the purse that was hanging up in the master bedroom closet, it was hanging up right in there, right? That's the edge of it.
I think one more.
I think one more.
Oh,
What's
Sorry.
the exhibit number on that?
I know it starts with 37.
It does start with 37. Try about S. See if it's
37L like Lincoln.
okay. Now, who took the purse off the hook?
I believe it was Officer Spurlock.
Okay, and that was, as we said before, in the master bedroom, right?
Right, in the master closet.
And Scott Peterson was there, correct?
Yes.
And you guys were going through the contents, or you didn't, but Spurlock and Scott went through the contents to see if they could find anything.
Officer Spurlock went through the contents. Mr. Peterson did not go through the purse or handle any of the items in the purse.
Okay. And at that point, was that prior to the conversation that as to where Scott said he was?
Yes.
Okay. And as did you hear him tell Spurlock that he had been at the Berkeley Marina?
No.
Did you tell him, or did he hear you that he had cooled home?
No.
You didn't hear any of that.
No.
How long was this conversation you heard?
Well, the part of the conversation that I heard was maybe less than 5 minutes of the conversation.
Okay. Are you walking, that is, as you was walking through the house?
As we walked down the hallway, and then Officer Spurlock and Mr. Peterson stopped somewhere in this vicinity, and I was somewhere over here, and they spoke for a few more seconds, minutes, and then,
When you walked through with Scott Peterson, was the rug still crumpled?
yes,
And Scott Peterson left the house.
yes,
The house at that point, you had barred anybody from getting inside. Is that correct?
well, we prevented anybody from going inside.
Prevented anybody from going inside prior to Scott going in, correct?
Yes,
The house at this point, so you had, when you got in there the first time, basically you had set that up. Nobody was going in or out unless they were accompanied by the officers, correct?
yes,
And now these white towels that we saw before,
yes.
that were on the washer and dryer, who actually collected those?
ID tech level,
And the mop and the bucket, who collected those actually?
ID tech level,
And after you walked through the house with Scott Peterson, he went outside, correct?
yes.
And then you were dispatched back to the park after the walkthrough.
Well, dispatch to me means that dispatch tells me to go. I was asked by Sergeant Durfelt to go back to the park.
After you had done the walkthrough with Scott Peterson and he went outside, was Durfelt present at that point?
Yes,
Is that when you powwowed?
yes,
So that would have been the second time you had gone through the house. The first time just you and Spurlock. The second time with Evers and Scott. And after that, you've gone through the house twice. You go outside. Scott Peterson's outside. Durfelt's there. And you, Spurlock, Evers, Durfelt to have a conversation, correct?
correct.
And then that conversation was there were, from your standpoint, what you said, I won't ask you what anybody else said. You said damp rags on the washer dryer, the mop in the bucket, the crumpled rug, and the duffel bags in the closet.
Right,
Okay. Those were the things that you thought were suspicious.
right.
Other than that, There was nothing else unusual in the house that was in your report, says, right?
Correct.
And now at that point, you go down to the park. Doerfield tells you to go down to the park.
Well, at the time that we had that conversation you were speaking of, after that was when we went to the vacant house to the north.
Okay. When you went to the vacant house, you met a gentleman by the name of Greg Reed.
I believe his name was George, but I could refresh.
Would you check?
Yes, you are correct. It's Greg.
You met Greg Reed. He was already in the house, correct?
Correct.
And that would have been for approximately what time?
We went to that house at just after 7 in the evening.
Okay. So is it a fair statement that if you arrived at the park at just before 6:30, that everything that I recounted to you took about a half an hour to 35 minutes going through the house twice, powwowing, and then going to the next house?
Yes.
Okay. At that point, do you go into the park?
Yes, after going through the 529 Covina.
You say to go 529 Covina, go down to the park.
Yes.
At that point, who was the first person you run into?
Officer Spurlock and I searched the park, both sides. As we were coming up the north side, we met up with people sporadically that were walking, searching. And the first person that I remember meeting that actually stuck in my mind was we met up with Mr. Gransky at the footbridge.
Okay. And did Mr. Gransky, was he by himself?
I believe he was with another gentleman.
It was not Scott Peterson.
No,
Okay. And who were you with at that point?
Officer Spurlock.
And did you have a conversation with Mr. Gransky?
I did.
Okay.
Officer Spurlock and I both did, yes.
And was Mr. Peterson there?
Scott Peterson?
Yes.
No.
Now, did you ever see Ron Gransky and Scott Peterson together down in the park?
Not down in the park, no.
Well, where did you, after that, after you were in the park, did you at some point go back to 523 Covina?
Yes.
At that point, did you see Ron Gransky and Scott Peterson having a conversation?
Yes.
Okay, and what approximate time was that?
It would have been roughly 8 o'clock in the evening
Okay, and where did that conversation take place?
in the front yard of 523 Covina.
Okay, and was that regarding fishing?
Yes.
And Ron Gransky saying, who goes fishing at 9:30?
I don't recall what he said.
What do you recall him saying?
I recall Mr. Gransky asking Scott Peterson if he had gone golfing. And Scott Peterson said, no, it was too cold to go golfing, so I went fishing. Mr. Gransky asked him, I believe, what time he left, and he said 10:30. And Mr. Gransky said, well, that's kind of late to go fishing.
Well, let me show you Eva's report, actually Spurlock's report. By the way, did Ron Gransky, did he appear to be joking?
When he said that,
Yeah.
no.
Now, did you do something in regards to when that conversation took place, Mr. Gransky, Scott, and Scott Peterson? Was that on the front lawn?
In the front yard, yes.
In the front yard, somewhere near the driveway apron?
I don't know if we were closer to the driveway or if we were closer to the southern edge of the yard.
Point that out for the jury.
Somewhere in this area here, I believe.
Do you just want to mark that? Just put fishing conversation. Now that, did you relay that conversation to somebody when you had what you had heard?
I don't know if I relayed it or if somebody else did. I don't know what.
You know that somebody did. Is that correct?
I would imagine somebody did, yes.
Okay. Now, at some point, hooked up or Detective Broccini showed up, correct?
Correct.
What time was that?
I don't recall the exact time. It would have been sometime after 8:30 in the evening.
Could it have been closer to 10 o'clock? We have some people here that indicated that he was a number of hours away.
It could have, yes.
Now, did he direct you to have Lovell use an alternate light source in the house to look for any signs of blood? Let me show you, giving me a look like you don't know. I'll show you the report.
Whose report is that?
This is Detective Braccini's, and it looks like it's December 25th, the 2002 report that I have got yellow highlighted this area.
Right. That's what it indicates here from Detective Braccini's report. Yes.
Does that refresh your recollection?
Yes.
Does that refresh your recollection?
Great minds run together.
Does that refresh your recollection?
Yes, it does, sir.
Is it a fair statement that when Braccini got there,
Oh, God.
he was interested in having
Sorry,
Lovell
hold on.
use alternate light source? What is that?
Dog. Dog break there. Let's see. Where am I?
I don't know.
Is it a fair statement? Okay. I
No,
don't know.
Yeah.
I would imagine he's speaking to something about luminol or something like that.
Okay, and he wants you to, we keep talking about this Lovell, but I don't know if the jury knows. Can you tell the jury who Lovell is or what his function is?
His title is ID technician and basically processes crime scenes, photographs, collects evidence, that kind of thing.
He's the person that takes the digital photographs, things we've been looking at, correct?
Correct, yes.
And he's the person who would collect the evidence, correct?
Correct.
And to the best of your knowledge, understanding, you bring him in so that he can do that kind of documenting everything, correct?
Right.
And did you, that evening, in response to Braccini, direct him to luminol the house for any kind of blood?
Detective Braccini or somebody else had asked for ID Tech Level to respond, and before leaving, Detective Braccini asked that a luminol process be conducted. When ID Tech Level arrived, I relayed what Detective Braccini wanted, the photographs, certain items collected, as well as the luminol process, and ID Tech Level indicated that he did not have the items to do a luminol process.
Right. They had to come back to do it. Isn't that correct?
I don't know if they did or not.
Didn't you also direct him to collect the wet towels, the mop bucket, so they could be inspected for evidence?
I directed him to collect those, yes.
Okay, and those were all the suspicious things that could conceivably be collected and tested, correct? Objection, Your Honor. That calls for speculation.
Sustained.
Why did you collect them? Objection. That's been asked and answered.
Sustained.
Now, do you know what they do with that Lovell? What would do with these items once he collected them? Do you know where they go?
Into evidence.
Do you have something called a locked drying locker?
Yes.
In the evidence room, is that where these items would go, specifically the towels?
If an item needed to be dried, yes, it would go there.
Okay, and did you recall, did you see a hamper in the house that evening?
I don't recall.
Did you ask Mr. Peterson, Scott Peterson, what Lacey Peterson was wearing when she left?
I didn't know.
Did you look in the hamper the day on the 24th to see what items of clothing were in the hamper?
No.
Did you take photographs, or did you see Lovell take photographs of the hamper?
I don't recall seeing photographs of the hamper.
Did anybody take photographs of the interior of the house when you were there?
Not that night, no.
Did you return later on?
I did not, no.
Was there video that was taken later on the 26th, the evening of the 26th, that you're aware of?
I don't know.
May I have just one moment, Your Honor? These tile areas here, what exhibit number is this, officer?
That photograph is 37U, like Union.
When you were you and Officer Spurlock, you were the first two in the house. The floor was not yet covered. The floor was not yet correct.
That particular floor?
Yes.
No.
you would have noted that obviously in your report if it had been wet or if you had seen signs of it being wet, correct?
Yes.
You didn't smell any bleach or anything. You would have noted that in your report, correct?
Correct.
You didn't see any signs of the interior of the house other than what you said before, the towels, the mops, as to recent cleaning in the area.
Yes.
And did you come back the next day to search?
No.
Thank you. I have no further questions.
Any redirect?
I don't have any redirect.
All right, we'll excuse the witness.
Okay, let's see.
Wow, they didn't collect very good evidence.
No.
Like the hamper, like he should have taken that rug. What's on the rug?
I thought in the LA, you can have a dollhouse with fish tank.
That's crazy. There's so much here that I'm just like,
Hi, Cupcake.
they missed.
Veronica, Augie, Sheila. Okay.
I mean, the hamper, that's huge. Was there a hamper in any of those pictures?
Not that I saw.
No.
So that would be. So the next one. So that took an entire day. That was the only witness they had that day.
Wow.
Because it's June 15th. And wow,
And why-
this
Why
looks
didn't
like.
he write down that Scott Peterson got mad and threw his flashlight down? That's kind of a big deal.
Yeah, I don't know. But let me see, this might be a really long one. Why is it the 15th and it's the only witness again? Yeah, it is long. Oh my goodness, yeah. There you go. Present 417. That's really 517. I don't know.
I think it's longer because there's more dialogue. It's not just the picture numbers. Well, no, I guess there are some in here. Let's scroll further.
Okay, let's see.
Is Pitbull in here? We should get him with his cool accent.
Oh boy. Is there allergic
Not that
to-
I don't love your accent, Nana.
The time change messed me up. Yeah, I don't know. Now my eyes are a little tired.
You
Right.
look tired.
Yeah, reading that stuff is tiring for my eyes. I don't know.
Mhm.
I don't think I can
It's-
go through another big long one like that now.
Yeah. Especially
it's
with
really-
the time
It's
change.
5 o'clock.
Not everything. The weather
Hey, Pitbull.
change.
Hi, Linda. I do not feel like I'm a detective. And I know better. This man is guilty as heck, Linda says.
Nana, I want to show you my shirt.
Very good. Thanks to Scooter. How come you didn't come
You
out?
see it? I went there. Look at my glasses. I got these a joke.
Hi, Carla.
These are reading glasses.
You're so funny.
I opened my balls last night and I didn't get anything. The only thing I got new was a red diamond. That's it.
Oh, wait,
no.
what's a red diamond?
Diamond walnuts. Almonds.
Oh.
Yeah.
Almonds?
I thought it was just gold or shimmery or what do you call those?
Mm-mm.
The glowing. What do you
Opened 3 balls and I got nothing. Very upsetting.
the
Metallic?
metallic? That's it. Like shimmery. I wore this for you, Nana.
Tulsa? It needs to say Oklahoma City.
Oh, this is as close to anything Oklahoma as you're ever going to get.
You would like Oklahoma City a lot better.
Well, I went for New Year's Eve because I dated this guy who was originally from there, and he went to see his family. And so, anyway, whatever. I didn't really leave the hotel because it had a spa, and I just stayed in the spa.
That sounds good.
It was. It was
Mm-hmm.
a brief diversion during the divorce. So, otherwise, I would not have gone. He lived in California. He went to one of the boarding schools that Paris Hilton went to.
Mm.
Yeah, because, well, I'll
Thankfully
tell you
not.
later. No way.
Okay, yeah, it was a long reading, right? I know.
So, is it snowing there, Caroline?
No, I mean, there's just a dusting on the ground. It's probably going to be a wave. You know, it's nothing bit major. Just like not even, probably a quarter of an inch.
Let's see.
Not
I
even,
think
maybe
we're in the
not.
60s today. It's nice out. I mean, it's chilly now.
Hi,
Doesn't
Deborah,
it?
Vancouver, then.
Do you guys have snow there, Nana?
Oh no, we just had ice last week.
Hi,
Oh,
Jenny.
you guys get
No.
like ice storms?
Yeah, we had an ice storm.
Oh, wow.
You just never know if we're going to get snow or ice.
Is that because you get humidity too? Like,
Oh, yeah.
there's okay. See that? So we don't have humidity. We're like semi-arid here, so
Mm-hmm.
we don't get those ice storms. Thank goodness.
I lost a tree in my backyard.
You lost a tree?
Yeah.
Did it damage anything?
No, it landed on my fence, but no, my fence was okay.
Wow.
You're lucky because that's when it downs so many power lines and people are out of power forever.
Mm-hmm. We still have people out of power.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
I need to get a generator. I
How
keep
many
saying
days
that.
is that?
It's been
Is that
years
from the
now.
first storm?
God, it's so funny.
A week ago,
That's a long time.
Monday.
These are honking.
Wow.
I'm going to change my glasses.
Do they have backup coming in from other states?
Probably not, because the hurricane, that hit Alabama, they've been out of power in that area too. So
Wow.
I don't know. I haven't seen any different trucks.
That's crazy. And I wonder if they're going to get everything up for people to vote. Or is there any power outages like where the people are voting? I wonder if that's going to be the next thing.
Oh, I'm sure there are.
These are like cheetah or something.
Crazy.
They're just big.
I didn't hear if schools went back today. I know they were out all week last week because they didn't have power to some of the schools.
Oh, you mean Monday? Yesterday was Sunday, right? Because I thought yesterday was Monday too.
Yeah, I don't know if they're
Going back
if they're
today.
still today, Monday, or if they were going back to school today. I don't know.
That's crazy. And it's still,
I
is it
always-
still cold by you?
No, it's not cold.
Oh, well, that's good at least.
It's warmed back up.
You sent a
Like-
picture of fire on the hill, Deborah?
Like how
I'll have a
warm
look at
is it?
60s,
Yeah. That's how it is here.
70s.
I don't think that would make you sleep. Not a coffee one, Alma. You'd be peppy.
Alma should come on panel. Stop being a chicken.
Deborah, I'm looking
Leaf.
for fire on the hill.
And Lisa H. Everybody should.
Where's Maggie? Is that what you want to? Okay. All right, I'll get on that tomorrow. Deborah, I'm not seeing. When did you send that? Recently or a long time ago?
My dog's got the haircut today, Nana.
I don't have it.
They got the
Really?
haircut. Let's
They
see.
look pretty.
Yeah, they're sleeping now, so.
Shoot. Forgot to do that.
You know what? I always think I hear my Lexi. I always think I hear her little collar.
Yeah.
I think she's here. And then I always, when I have like a ring in my right ear,
I don't have
it's
it,
my
Deborah.
It's my boo-boo. It's my boo-boo bear. Baby, come here. Come show Nana. Let's show Nana your haircut. Let's show Nana your haircut. Come here, guys. Oh, they're all cozy on my laundry.
Oh, shoot. There we go.
Come here.
Aw.
I don't have it, Deborah. Can you send it again?
Come
Yeah, please.
here.
They look
Baby's
so cute.
skinny. Baby's skinny, so he doesn't. He has no insulation. But
Mhm.
Lolly, she's a little chubby. She's
Mhm.
like, I'm good. Hi, guys. They
They
were
look
so
adorable.
They are sweetest
Thing.
baby. Hi. Say I'm famous.
They're so
Don't-
cute.
Don't get a big head like Scoots now. She's too good for us.
Yeah,
Just
where's
kidding,
Scooter?
She's in chat, living it up, being the star that she is.
Hi,
Getting love.
Scooter.
Hi,
You
Scooter.
sent it again. I'll check now, Deborah.
I told her to come on and wear the judge wig.
Let me see.
Lolly. Hi, Lollipop. Say, I won't be a big star like Scooter. I'll be bigger. Just
Good
kidding.
night, Bink.
Say hi. Hi, guys.
Okay, so I know I see it already. Fire hat.
Lala got her
That
teeth
looks pretty
cleaned last
bad.
month. Baby's gonna get his teeth cleaned this month. Hi, guys.
How
Oh.
often you get teeth cleaned?
Well, I mean, I just got them. I've had them a year, but they needed their teeth cleaned when I got them.
Yeah.
And, I mean, hopefully not that often because it's a lot of money. It's like
It is.
$400. Yeah.
It's
Wow,
a ton of
that's something.
And Lolly had to have one extraction. So then she was on antibiotics. But baby doesn't, his teeth aren't as bad.
So did
I
these
feel like
fires just start
there's-
up again, Deborah? Because you had them bad last year, right? I remember Lacey Alice. And I hope you're doing well, Lacey Alice. Prayers. They were really bad. Did they start up bad again?
Where is that?
I think it's Australia or New Zealand. Where is it, Deborah? Australia or New Zealand? I have a real block with that.
Fires?
Yeah. It's on YouTube. Can you see it?
No, I'm sitting on the floor and my laptop is on the stove.
Okay, and then there's another picture. Let's see.
And I don't know how long it's going to take me to get up. But I'm definitely going to go off camera because it's not going to be pretty. Just kidding. And I'm probably going to have to mute because I'll probably make all kinds of involuntary noises. No.
Kevin Leonard said that Scooter had a contract day off to do diamond painting.
Oh, it's in her contract, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
And to wear diamonds as she did it.
Mm-hmm.
let's see where
Because they're a girl's best friend.
So that fire's in Australia.
is that what she said?
Yeah.
Look at Lolly's collar. Watch.
We
And you
don't
see it-
usually get
it's
fires
pink.
in the hills, right? But
Can
I
you see
remember
it?
Lacey Alice said they were so bad last year.
You're so pretty. Did you see her collar?
We don't
No.
usually get fires in the tropics.
She has hot pink with diamonds. No. It's rhinestones. Oh, who's that? Which one is it?
Your car is covered in ashes again? Oh, from your fires, Alma? Oh, no.
I don't know what the status of our fires are. Did they ever get rid of all the fires in Australia? Or are these the same fires or different ones?
That's some fire. Jen H says there has been so many everywhere. It's very scary. Yeah, and earthquakes too in Greece and Turkey and
Oh,
getting
really?
crazy.
Ugh. You wonder, is it more Or
Cars
do we
covered
just
in
hear
blood.
about it more now?
Mm-mm.
You know? Like, same with crime.
I guess we could look at the headlines if we're not going to. Let me see. Let me look at the
I think
headlines.
criminals have more mobility, too, to do more crime, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah, headlines? Did
Yeah, better do headlines.
anything happen?
I don't know. I'm going to check. Is that my work? They didn't catch this guy.
Is that the one in Arkansas?
The one that dumped his mother in a, might have
Yeah.
dumped his mother's body in a Walmart parking lot. They didn't catch him yet?
What?
He looks so
When-
familiar to me. He looks like an actor, and I can't think of who it is. It's driving me crazy.
When did this happen?
So let's see. Let me get his picture up here. So I saw this last night, and I thought it would have been caught.
I think it happened last week, Alicia.
Let me see. All right, there's his picture.
I'll look it up. Wait.
Well, I'm gonna go through it, Alicia.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Let me go on
I'm just getting
YouTube.
his picture up.
Oh, wait, I have last night's with
Okay,
that
so it said it was
Julie. Sorry, go
That's
ahead.
okay. A manhunt is underway for the Missouri man accused of abandoning the corpse of his mother, whose death has been ruled a homicide. Connie J. Goodwin, 63. And I got so scared when I saw that because it really sounds like a Rambler's name that I know. And I was like, but I know, I think our Connie lives in South Dakota, so I think it's okay. Was found dead in a home in Deerfield, Missouri on Wednesday morning. Hours later, police in Hot Springs, Arkansas responded to a report of a suspicious package at a Walmart after someone found possible evidence in a trash bag in the back of their pickup truck. Surveillance footage showed an unknown individual had put the bag on the truck at an area hotel the previous evening. Oh my gosh, can you imagine? Investigators
Was it
later
a
connected.
strangers? Sorry, go ahead.
Investigators later connected the bag to the Missouri homicide and issued an alert for Goodwin's son, Aaron Goodwin, age 38, who is wanted on suspicion of abandonment of a corpse and who may be in the Hot Springs area. Police later confirmed that Goodwin is also being sought in connection with what it was found in the trash bag. Aaron Goodwin is a white male, approximately 5 feet 8 inches tall, and weighs 140 pounds. He has brown hair. He has one brown eye, one blue eye, and a beard. Police say he was last seen at 8:30 p.m. Tuesday at the 4800 block of Central Avenue of Hot Springs with light-colored pants, black sweatshirt, black ball cap, and a backpack. Information about how Connie Goodwin died or what was in the trash bag has not been disclosed publicly. Authorities said that Aaron Goodwin may have been armed and dangerous and should not be approached. However, police do not believe that there is an ongoing threat to the public. Investigators do not believe there is any danger to the residents in the Vernon County area at this time. Vernon County Sheriff Jason Mosher said in a press release, anyone who knows anything or spots Aaron Goodwin should call the Vernon County Sheriff's Office at 417-667-6042 or call 911. That's so weird. He just dumped it in someone's truck at a hotel? So crazy. 27 missing kids were found in Virginia.
That's good.
Oh, those little twin girls that were that psychologist
Yeah.
that killed, that they were given a large amount of sedatives before a violent death.
Mm.
So before she shot them. So.
That's so bizarre. Why wouldn't she just poison? I mean, I'm not saying kill them at all, but why wouldn't you just, why do you have to shoot them? I mean, it's all disgustingly sick, but like,
Authorities
it's
in
brutal.
Washington state have released more details about the apparent murder-suicide of a woman and her twin daughters, and they have announced that the girl's father is not a suspect in their deaths. Then that's good because people were speculating that. Police in Whatcom County responded to the emergency call Saturday afternoon when they found Michelle Boudreau Deegan and her twin 7-year-old girls dead in a bedroom of apparent gunshot wounds. Local reports indicated that a man who was renting a room or property from her found their bodies and called police. The twin girls have been identified as 7-year-olds Mary Annalise Deegan and 7-year-old Katie Elizabeth Deegan. According to the Bellingham Herald, the report also confirms that Boudreau Deegan, 55, was employed as a therapist, apparently with a private practice, and she had an active mental health counselor's license. Though the investigation is ongoing, the Whatcom County Sheriff's Office shared updates in a news release obtained by the Bellingham Herald. The Sheriff's Office said in the release that the girl's father has been ruled out as a suspect and has a strong alibi for the day and time. Investigators believe that Boudreau Deegan fatally shot her daughters before turning the gun on herself. Evidence at the scene clearly implicates Michelle Boudreau Deegan as the only suspect in the death of her 2 daughters. According to the report, an autopsy determined the twin girls had ingested and otherwise consumed a substantial amount of sedatives, which the sheriff's office release said probably rendered them incoherent at the time of the incident. The sheriff's statement said that Boudreau Deegan had given indications prior to her death that she was in crisis. Days before the murder-suicide, a judge ordered that she share custody with her estranged husband, which investigators believe led to her decision to kill her daughters and herself. She clearly stated her suicidal ideations and that she would never leave her daughters alone without her, the release stated. A court hearing on October 20th, where the joint custody was awarded to both Ms. Boudreau and her estranged husband, appears to have been the precipitating event that led to her decision. If you know of anybody in crisis, or you yourself, call the National Suicide Prevention Hotline at 1-800-273-TALK. That's ridiculous. That's, I don't know, it's so crazy. Let's see. Florida teen siblings shoot man dead in a robbery. Oh my gosh. Judge orders 11-year-old boy accused of killing a 6-year-old jailed until trial. 11 years old. That's
Crazy.
Oh, wait, let's see what this is about. Boyfriend found dead on a recliner and the girlfriend charged with the murder. Oh, boy.
By Zane. No.
No, there's North Carolina. I don't know what happened to my thing.
By Zane that she learned about from a true crime channel on YouTube.
A North Carolina woman told police she woke up from a nap to find her boyfriend unresponsive, but she was arrested for murder after the medical examiner found several small wounds on the body were stab wounds. Sharon Yvette Allen, 53, and her boyfriend, Michael Renard Fox, 51, had been asleep in his recliner on Wednesday, and when she woke up, he didn't. Hartnett County Sheriff's deputies arrived to find Fox dead, but they said they noted some inconsistencies at the scene as well as the small wounds. After the medical examiner's report and a short investigation, deputies executed a search warrant at the home Allen and Fox shared and arrested her on Thursday. She was booked into the Hartnett County Jail on no bond, and her first court date is Monday. Interesting. She looks very complacent in that mugshot. Huh. A toddler found wandering down a Tennessee street at 2 a.m.
Wow.
Let's see. I guess I was gonna say, was that like just a overzealous toddler that got out? But no, I guess the parents were. Because that something like that happened here is a horrible tragedy. A little 3-year-old got out during the winter, and it wasn't anything like the parents were not paying attention. She just got out during the middle of the night, climbed out, and they didn't even know, and she froze to death in the snow. Parents of a 2-year-old East Tennessee girl have been charged with child abuse and neglect after the toddler was found walking down the middle of a Greenville street with cuts on her bare feet. 2 witnesses found the little girl shortly after 2 a.m. on Tuesday and called police, staying with her until police arrived. EMS found that the cuts on her feet were minor and that she was generally in good health. Police found the girl's father, Ryan Phillips, asleep in his bedroom and escorted him to the scene when a friend banged on the window and woke him up. When the Tennessee Department of Child Services arrived, the little girl was placed into the agent's care, and Phillips was arrested on charges of child abuse and neglect. He became angry and slammed his head into a patrol car several times, resulting in charges of resisting arrest and vandalism. Police returned to the home with the DCS agent to speak with the mother, Robin Blatz, who also had a second child. Entering the home for the first time, they found the home in unbearable conditions, smelling of cat urine and cigarette smoke. Trash was piled in the living room and on the bed and in the master bedroom, where they also found drug paraphernalia. In the kitchen, they found dirty clothes and trash on the table and cigarette burns on the floor in the children's room. And Blatz told police that she had not been staying overnight at the house for 2 months because she didn't want to be around Phillips. She said she spent her days there, and she was also charged with child abuse and neglect. Okay, did they take the other kid from her?
I hope so.
Crazy.
What a nightmare.
Interesting. What is this? Wisconsin police have arrested 2 men in connection with Wednesday's hit and run that left a 7-year-old girl dead and her mother seriously injured. The 2 men, unidentified, are 22 and 19. And then, who's this Mega Biz Salt Life? Who does Salt Life clothes? The founder is dead in a Florida hotel room after he was accused of, wow, he looks like he's on something, some salt. A prominent Florida businessman was arrested Friday in Jacksonville in connection with the shooting death of an 18-year-old woman found with a single gunshot wound in a South Florida hotel room Thursday morning. Riviera Beach police officers found Laura Grace Duncan from Lake City in North Florida in the Hilton Singer Island Oceanfront Resort after her family requested a wellness check because she had been at the hotel for several days, police said. Michael Troy Hutto, co-founder of the popular Salt Life brand of ocean gear, was identified as a suspect, and he was arrested on Friday night at Baptist Medical Center South, where he'd reportedly been taken after a medical emergency. Hutto, age 54, has been charged with manslaughter and booked into the Duval County Pretrial Detention Center. Salt Life released a statement on its Facebook page on Saturday morning, noting that new owners have run the business since the co-founders sold it in 2013, and the co-founders have not been associated with the brand in any way since the purchase in 2013, the statement read. Great teamwork with Riviera Beach PD to bring in the suspect to justice. Michael Troy Hutto was arrested at Baptist South for the recent murder of a teenager in South Florida. Hutto was delivered to the Duval County pretrial by FHP. Okay, and then, wait, I thought they said that he, oh, okay, I'm sorry, he wasn't found dead. I thought he was found dead too, and I read that wrong. But where's the woman that he killed? I thought there was a picture of her here. Let me see. It was before. Duncan's parents contacted them on Monday afternoon. They contacted the Columbia County Sheriff's Office for a wellness check, and Duncan had voluntarily left the county with a known individual, and later they said she was possibly in the Riviera Beach. The Sheriff's Office did not say definitively that she left Lake City with Hutto. Now, how she met him, this person she left the county with, they did say in their statement, was released earlier, that the person of interest had been identified. The Florida Highway Patrol later announced, tweeting photographs of the handcuffed bear. Okay, and that's probably about it. And I think then the rest of the stuff is like so gray. So that's what I was trying to say to Linda Hassan last night, that some stories are just so bad. You can't they're just so bad. And that kind of is like that little boy that you were talking about, Linda. Somewhere I lost the chat. What? My chat is over here. Is it?
I think Lisa D is in chat. Somebody said hi. Hi, Lisa D. I'm eating popcorn, so.
Let's see where I lost my chat.
Scooter's being a big diva in chat. Love you, Scooter. Scoot, scoot. Cha, cha, cha. Lala loves to go in and out of her kennel. It's so funny. Her tail's just sticking out, going in and out. I think she likes the top of it to like scratch her back or something. What you doing, Molly?
I can't get back into the chat yet, so. Too many windows.
How are you feeling, Nana?
I feel okay sometimes, and then I don't feel so good.
You look like you have a headache.
A little bit of a headache. Just still have that sore throat that won't go away.
Oh, really?
Oh.
Yeah.
You don't think you have the ickies, do you?
I hope it's not the ickies. I think I'm going to go to the doctor tomorrow. Or today. Whatever day it is today.
Can they give you a rapid test?
Yeah, they can. At my doctor's office, they can.
You have any other symptoms other than the sore throat?
Just a lot of drainage.
Are you coughing at all?
Some.
Fever?
Not a lot.
Any fever? I sound like the nurse now. Have any fever?
No fever. Just maybe a little bitty low-grade fever.
Aches and pains? Aches and pains? Or like, yeah?
Did you get a flu shot this year?
Yeah. I did. In September. The end of September.
What else do they have? Loss of taste and smell?
Nope. Still have all that.
Or feeling like, what? Some people feel like loopy or something?
No.
I mean, the symptoms run the gamut.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's why it's best just to go ahead and go see the doctor and get checked. But right now, I think I'm going to go lay down.
Okay, yeah, go ahead. I'm gonna be not far behind you.
Good
Okay.
Feel
night.
better.
Good night. Love you guys.
Love you.
Love you
Bye bye.
too. Feel
Good night.
better.
Thanks for reading.
Okay.
Hi, Mono. Carol Plant. I can't get into the right chat, so I don't know what's going on. Let me see.
Was today better than yesterday,
Hi,
Carolyn?
Lou. In what way?
I don't know. I think you had a lot of frustrations with like technology or like the
Oh,
camera
just
or
in the
something
beginning with the
yesterday.
lighting, yeah, but it was fine after that. We were on a long time, yeah. There's always a little technology stuff, I'm sure. Luna is around. She was around the other night. Yep. Too awful to read, right, Augie? Hi, Lavina.
I like
Gore.
Luna.
Luna, yeah, she's nice. Hi, Patricia. Jen H. Cupcake. I missed a lot of you that came in when Jeanette, Hazel Turner. Maggie Smith.
Danielle C was in earlier, but she was going to ice her knee.
Oh, wow. There must have been some injury.
I think it's from the dog.
No, I know, but it's been like 4 weeks, so it must be like some injury. She must have really hurt it.
Oh my gosh, that's awful.
No. Record size for the hail. Oh, right, the hail size. Yeah, grapefruits. That was crazy. Did you take a video of that? That would have been nuts. You should have definitely taken a video of grapefruit size hail.
Whoa, where was that?
I think she's in Australia. Or New Zealand.
Dang.
I don't know. I use them interchangeably.
They have fires and grapefruit size hail.
Yeah, but she might be in New Zealand, so I don't know.
Oh.
I use them interchangeably.
Well,
Have I ever watched Maria Banford? No, I don't know who that is. Hi, Lisa D. Hi, Moo. Hey, Moo. Moo, you're lurking,
Hi,
but
Moo.
you've been watching me since the Chris Watts case. You didn't say anything about the pictures that I painstakingly sent to you, that I made sure that I took during my shopping trip and sent them to you, and you couldn't even muster an emoticon or something? Really?
Moo, you should call in. Say hi
Really,
to
Moo?
Carolyn.
And you didn't even respond, Moo? Did you even see the pictures? You didn't even respond. Are you there? You're not talking to me anymore? Okay. I'll do what Scooter would say. Fine, be that way. Fine, be that way.
Moo,
I put them
Come.
in your WhatsApp.
come say hi to
I
Carolyn.
painstakingly took the pictures, okay, and everything.
We miss you. We miss you, Moo.
And you couldn't even muster a response.
And Heather, too.
I know, Brianna. I'm falling asleep, too. I'm going to be right behind you, Brianna. It's knocked a lot out of me, this thing. It's time change.
And what's the name of the nurse that she can't be in chat, but only when she's on video?
Which one?
She does the balls. She's young. She's in California.
California.
She's not from California, but she lives in California. She's a nurse. She opens the balls, but she can't go to chat for some reason.
she's a nurse.
I'm pretty sure she's a nurse. She's a straight shooter. She's like,
Well,
she's from the South.
how do
I think
we
she's from Texas or something.
how do we know her though? Could you come on?
Yeah.
You said she can't be on camera?
She can't be in chat, but she goes on panel. I can't remember what her name is. Anyway, I miss her too.
Not Heather.
No. She's got like sandy blonde hair. She has a southern accent a little bit. Does anybody know what I'm
Bridget?
talking about?
Bridget?
Probably.
Oh, Bridget's got, I think Bridget has brown hair. Okay. Yeah, she does live in California.
But she has a southern accent, right?
She's from Texas.
Yep, that's
She
what I'm
lives
talking
in
about.
California. But yeah, okay.
I miss seeing her too.
Right.
I miss Moo. I miss Heather.
You didn't get a notice? I thought it was because you hate me.
Who knows?
Who? That looks like who, LA? A comedian that looks like who? Me? Probably Dawn. Yeah, hi Dawn. Florida lady's been on, she's been on almost every night.
She was fun last night.
Was that last night that we went on? That was the night before, wasn't it?
I
It was
don't
the night
know.
before.
Oh, night before. And she revved that slingshot. She went so fast. Oh my God. She's so cool.
Hi, Pamela. Surtech, how are you? You can't chat while working? So I'm chatting while working. Oh, okay.
Julie Grayson knows how to do costumes.
Oh, yeah.
Her Carol Baskin cracked me up.
Mm-hmm. And she had the greeting down right, too. You saw one of me, Pippo?
Oh, is Pippo in here?
Really, Pitbull? A recent one or an old one? Was it a recent one? Oh, you're welcome, Lou. Because the only ones I've ever seen are people that can't do it at all, and it's ridiculous, and it's so stupid. It's not even good. They don't look anything like me, they don't act anything like me, they don't sound anything like me, and they don't do anything that I do the right way that I do it. They do everything really stupid, and they try to be like, they act, for lack of a better word, like a, oh gosh, I don't want to say the word here, but just like sleazy, like disgusting.
What? That's not a parody
new
of
one?
you.
Can you email me, Pitbull? Can you email it to me, Pitbull?
They're just jealous. I don't get it.
They just do that to get. They want people to mention their name.
Right,
The bigger
right,
channels.
because-
It's all a tactic.
Yeah.
They actually. It's a tactic that they use because they have no talent.
Yeah. It's
They go
Exactly.
once they go with one creator, then they go another one and another one, and just keep doing it.
but only the creators that have a lot of
More than
subscribers.
them, yeah, because they're trying to get subs and views.
Right. It's pathetic.
Maria Bamford, okay. But I'm probably going to get upset with that, because like when people say that, and then it's usually like a really like something that's not good, and then you're like, how could somebody say that I remind them of this? I hate doing that, right? I hate when people tell me that.
Oh, you look like so and so, and then you see them, and you're like, when people say, "Oh, you look so much like
Oh
so
yeah,
and
and you go, oh
so,"
really, where
or
are they?
"Oh,
And then you're like,
you really remind
no,
me of
I
it," and
don't.
you see them, and you're like, "In what universe? Like,
Yeah.
is that what you really think of me?"
Yeah. Wasn't the
Yeah.
other night, Lavina. It was probably close to maybe even 10 days to 2 weeks ago. Tell me I'm wrong. Okay, I'll check it out. I'll write it down. I'm trying to find like something to write it down on. I've got something over here. Let's see. Okay, and I want to say something while we're doing that, while we're talking about that. You know what I find unbelievable? Do you know there's people talking about and criticizing Shanann and the kids that don't even know. They claim to be an expert on it, right? They claim to be an expert on it, but they don't even know what's in the discovery. I've always said that, but the other night, somebody told me these people, and there's more than one on a panel, and none of them knew that there was an interview with Nicole Atkinson. They thought the only thing with Nicole Atkinson was the police cam. None of them knew of an interview. And when somebody said, do I think there's an interview? They said, oh, well, this discovery must be fluid and it must keep changing because I've never seen it before. And that interview with Nicole Atkinson has been there since the beginning.
It has.
That's scary.
They probably just saw videos of Shanann and then that's it. Or maybe one video.
Right.
And they didn't do any research.
I will, Dawn. Yeah, I just really.
They don't know the case.
They don't know the case, but they pretend to be an expert in it, which is it just drives me insane.
Well, they have an opinion, so they're an expert, right?
No, but they say, oh, we know this, and then they start saying like stupid stuff. They start. This is where it goes wrong. And see, this is where I believe that the victims' families, when these people are spreading this false stuff, like, because they were saying, no, Shanann was 7 weeks pregnant because she missed 2 appointments, she didn't go to them, and she was lying, and she was drunk. Oh, they were saying such horrible things.
She was lying about her pregnancy.
And that's why Nicole Atkinson came and checked on her, and Nicole Atkinson, they're saying all these lies about Nicole Atkinson, and that's when I think those channels, 100%, there should be a law that just shuts it right down because what they're saying is outright lies and the facts are there. And that's defamation of, first of all, Nicole Atkinson, who's alive and well. And, well, you know, and pray I believe she's all done with her cancer treatments and everything, so pray for her, that she has a full, happy life and healthy. But they are also defaming Shanann. And they just keep doing it, and they don't have facts, and it drives me crazy.
I don't see any of that stuff.
But they keep saying, like they have people on that act like it's fact, and then you get people brand new to the case, and what's happening is these people brand new to the case are going, oh my gosh, really? She was only 7 weeks pregnant? Oh my gosh, it wasn't even his baby probably, and they come up with all this crap. And it's sickening.
Don't watch it, Caroline.
Hey, Robin. Well, I think that something should be done about it, but yeah.
Well, yeah,
it's wrong. It's so wrong. Yeah, I know, Patricia, but they just rather make up like stuff. They don't know something, they make it up, or what makes a better story.
That's crazy.
Absolutely. Brenda, yeah, I mean, come on.
She's a murder victim. Like, I don't care if she was a horrible person. She wasn't. But just say nothing. It's horrible.
Believe everything they hear, right? But I don't know. It's really it's sickening.
I mean, your video about Watts today, like,
Well, yeah, because like those, I mean, that's just insane what they're doing with him, and it's just that sounds like the kid from the Twilight Zone. Keep telling him he's a good man. Keep telling him he's a good boy. You did a good thing, Chris. You did a good thing.
we're proud of
Chris.
you. We're proud
of you, Chris.
What?
We know what you did, Chris. We know who you are.
They just have a theory.
Yeah,
It's
you have
just
to fight.
2,000 pages of
You
theory.
have to fight, Chris. You have to fight, and now there's new channels coming up, which is scary. Okay, because somebody showed something to me, brand new, with all fake stuff.
What?
All fake.
What is, you know what? That just proves
Saying
there
that, oh my
is
God,
evil in the world.
It is. You think you know the Watts case? You don't know the Watts case. What's going on? And they show documents from 2018 that was a motion that was filed that's already been done and over with and gone, and they say that it's new, and people are sitting there believing it. That's why I'm so pissed.
And they probably know that.
Oh, of course they do. They're trying to get all the new people from Netflix and sway them. That's what it is. Sick.
Well, I mean, Lifetime movie wasn't accurate.
go
Nothing's
like-
been accurate.
No, so they
The
go like this.
Lifetime
They
is
say, well, Lifetime, yeah, no, that wasn't accurate at all. But they say, oh, we have the bombshell coming. And you can look at the videos. The videos are 2 news reports from 2018, a motion that was filed in 2018, and some stupid envelope they have with, it looks like the sticker was just put on it, and it has Chris's return address. They don't say what's in it. They said, we've got the biggest bombshell ever. You better subscribe
New
to
evidence.
us and click the notifications, because you're not going to believe what's coming out here. And you have, like P.T. Barnum said, a sucker born every minute. You have hundreds of people there going, and nobody that we recognize. Oh my gosh, I knew there had to be more. Oh my gosh. And yeah,
wow.
so it's crazy. Crazy.
It makes me sad for Shanann, you know, and her memory.
Yeah.
She was a good person, and I was going to tell Lisa D, your craft room is organized just like as good as Shanann's house was, like with all her bins and totes. Man, she was so organized. Dang.
I don't know. It's nuts. It's nuts.
She would have been a rambler.
Yeah, Linda, it's horrible. No, I think if someone did, I mean, the case, if somebody, see, the family's not opposed to people discussing the facts. It's this kind of stuff that they're opposed to. And who wouldn't be? Who would want to, hear all this stuff? Oh, yeah, okay, it wasn't his baby, and she was only 7 weeks pregnant, and she was drunk, and it's so stupid. But it's all over again.
It's bad enough that they say it. But then to make it worse is you have all these people believing it.
And all the fake, see, that should be something. All the fake stuff that they create to try to say that this is what's happening, like this envelope thing, that stuff really needs to get off. Maybe, I mean, there's some lawsuits going around right now that some creators have been hit with lawsuits for saying things, so maybe things will change. I hope so. We'll see.
We should blow up, YouTube's email or something with complaints, because it's
Yeah.
really, it's their
Their
platform.
email is not. I mean, the Twitter's like the
Or-
only thing. But even Twitter,
Yeah,
they're like
whatever
so
it
bad
is.
right now.
I mean, if I had a platform and I knew people were putting trash and garbage and evil libelous filth on it, I have integrity. I would make sure, they could create filters. They could do something about this.
Everyone's saying it was the spirit, but it was Annie's daughter. Yeah, her daughter was in the house that day. I know. Crazy. But it's oh my gosh, it's just gonna drop everything. They don't care about Hi, Ulala, how are you?
Where's Mr. O'Shannonite?
Mr. Shannonite? He hasn't been in.
Mr. Shannonite. He has to let us know it's time to go.
A few weeks ago, Jeanette says 2 men were punished by law for spreading a video that was bad for women. They did this on social media, but I guess you must know how.
Where was that?
In Holland. I don't know. It's crazy.
How big is Holland? What's their population?
Where?
Holland.
I don't know.
The United States is so big. People don't understand that we can't even get states to agree. Like some of those countries are as big as one of our states,
Lots of things in this world don't go right. Oh, yeah. My daughter wants me to watch that, that documentary. First, there's one on, wait a second. One is on HBO, I think, and she said the other one is on Cinemax, and it's better, but it's of that cult that was right up here in Albany, the one where they were branding the women and...
Nexium.
Yeah, Nexium. Yeah.
And they had...
And it's so weird because there is another MLM that sounds like that was a skin cream.
Yeah,
but it's
or like
not the same
supplements or
company.
something like that.
But I don't think
Nexium.
Yeah.
That's what I was like. Is that the...
Yeah, no, it's different. It's different.
And they had like major blue blood children in that thing.
I don't know. I didn't watch much of it. I mean, I know Catherine Oxensberg's daughter was in there. I know they branded them.
I didn't see it, but
she wants me to watch it, and I have to watch it. The one is called, I think it's The Vow, and then the other one is on Cinemax, I think. Did anybody watch that about that cult?
But there's a few really powerful people's daughters that are in it.
Yeah, Catherine Oxenberg, her daughter was in it.
I mean, what in the...
I don't know. My daughter was in the area at that time. I said, did you ever see like any kind of recruitment for that place? And she's like, no.
Wow. Like, what is going on in the person who started that's mind? It's like, I could do this.
Yeah, but it's a cult. It's power.
But how does it start? I'm just curious. Like you go
It's
from
supposed to be for like bettering your life and empowerment and all of this. And then you go there, and there's people that are already like indoctrinated.
like a bait and switch kind of thing.
And then some of them actually, it's like Stockholm syndrome, get to, it's like the hippie communes. We used to have cults around. Like if you watch Marlene, whatever the heck that movie is, that is like a hippie commune around here. And there used to be a lot of them.
Well, I think there's a lot of lost people. And then, they pull you in. John and I joined a church, and it was young people. They were all nice, fun, and they had breakfast before church. And then after church, we'd go play volleyball. And if somebody moved, they'd all come. They'd move your house in like 5 minutes, or anything you needed. And then little by little, they try to like take control of your life. And then they have like an accountability committee, and then they would kick people out of the church. And if you saw that person on the street, you were supposed to turn and walk the other way and not even acknowledge them. Like all this stuff. It was nuts. And I guess they do it all over the world. And there's like these
Oh yes.
websites. And you have no idea. And I'm not stupid. Like, and I liked it. And, I like the community, but I'm not like a big Bible person. And one day, anyway, whatever.
It's
it just
hard
was
to
like,
believe it, Kevin. I know it's hard to believe it, Kevin. That is going on, right? It's like crazy to think that that's going on, and there's girls like Catherine Oxenberg's daughter that's hooked up in it, and nobody. I mean, it's just crazy. Cults. There's a lot of cults around. There are.
wow. It's frightening. I mean, well, R. Kelly had a cult,
On the
essentially.
branding cult. That's what it is, Linda Irby. That's the one I'm talking about. And Foxy, who was in Italian jail for murdering, is backing the guy. Yeah, that's this one it was in New York and up near Albany. Dra, no I, Patricia. She's doing well. She hasn't been coming up for visits because of the ickies, and stuff. Yeah, that's scary. And now, I don't know. It's hard to believe that Elvis. Who's Elvis, Jeanette? Oh, Elvis is still there. I don't know. And they were getting branded, and they were like so happy, like, oh my gosh, they're going to be branded. I'm going to be his forever.
Oh my gosh.
Such an honor.
Patty Hearst.
Yes, can you discuss those? Yeah, I'll watch the documentary, Augie, and then I can. I'm going to watch my daughter said she watched the one. It was very good, her and her boyfriend, and they're going to watch the other one. What's the temperature? It's pretty cold, I think. There's snow on the ground. It's probably, I don't know, 30s or 40s. Do some more about cults. You like cults? I always think there's a lot of cults up here because there's a lot of. Do you remember when I took you to that lake and I showed you that big, kind of like old-fashioned kind of resort? There's a lot of stuff like that around here. There's a lot of those, like I said, and a lot of them turned into hippie communes during like the Woodstock time. And then now, like that Course in Miracles, who knows if that wasn't I don't think it was a cult, but who knows? Could have easily been one. It's very easy to have a place like that up here. They're all over the place where you could buy something like that and create your own cult.
And you know, you could drug people. Just put something in the food that's like so mellow, and then slowly, and then they, you know, it's like Hotel California. You check in, but you never leave.
You went to this church in Vernon, BC, you got a strange feeling, and turns out it was a cult. Yeah. Wow.
And they're so nice to you. They get you in.
Of
It's
course,
called love
yeah.
bombing.
Love, of
Like
course, yeah. Yeah, you have to get you in. If you haven't seen that Marlene, go watch that, because that's like a cult up in here, and it was like more kind of like the hippie, oh big, oh it's so loving, and this is this guy, he's gonna treat you so good, and all these runaways were joining.
I mean, so many, and especially now with COVID, with ickies, like
High, easily distracted.
people could be even more lost because a lot of people lost.
Did he lose,
careers.
Jan? I thought, it must have just come out, right? Because it's supposed to, he lost it? Let's see. Let's see. I see the High Court is going to deliver the ruling. You found, where do you see the ruling? You found the ruling? I don't see the ruling yet, because it's, what is it? It would be 10 o'clock. They must have just finished. Where do they have the ruling? Oh, he lost his high court. Okay, here it is. Hollywood actor Johnny Depp has lost his high court libel action against the Sun newspaper. So we were covering this. We covered their trial, if you remember that. And today was the ruling. Remember how long it took to get the verdict? So let's see. It says, over an article which labeled him a wife beater, Judge Andrew Nicole delivered his long-awaited verdict at 10 a.m. That was just like, what, 17 minutes ago? With the time change, I'm confused. It was either 17 minutes ago or an hour and 17 minutes ago. After 3 weeks of rancorous testimony at the High Court in London that included claims of drug abuse and domestic violence, the Pirates of the Caribbean star sued over tabloid publishers, news groups, newspapers, and the author of the article over claims that he was violent to his ex-wife Amber Heard during their volatile 2-year marriage. The legal odds appeared to be stacked in Mr. Depp's favor in a case that had been dubbed the biggest English libel trial of the 21st century. England's ancient defamation law puts the burden of proof on the media and remains one of the strictest in the Western world. Mr. Depp brought the proceedings and laid bare his personal battles with drugs and alcohol because the Sun's allegation had done its disservice to the Me Too movement, and it was trying to support his lawyer, David Sherborne, said. His client was cited in the same breath as disgraced film mogul Harvey Weinstein, he added, and that's why he has come here to clear his name. Ms. Heard said she stood by her testimony and put her faith in British justice, even though she had not instigated the proceedings. Legal experts considered Mr. Depp had no choice but to sue, as in the current era, accusations of domestic violence would do more damage to his career than details of his substance abuse. The 16 days of proceedings in July, which both parties attended, exposed the couple's troubled relationship in excruciating minute detail. Mr. Depp, 57, released a graphic photo showing a severed fingertip that he claimed Ms. Heard caused by throwing a vodka bottle at him during a violent row. Ms. Heard, a 34-year-old model and actress, claimed that Mr. Depp injured his fingertip, which was later reattached when he smashed a telephone into the wall during the argument. Mr. Depp admitted writing a message to Ms. Heard on the wall and floor with flowing blood from his finger, and then dipping his finger into a can of paint to continue writing when the bleeding stopped. Another episode involved feces found in the couple's marital bed, which Mr. Depp has said was left there as a sick joke by either Ms. Heard or one of her friends. That was lovely. Remember that one? But despite Amber blaming the incident on the couple's dog, Mr. Depp said he knew that his marriage was effectively finished. The judge also forced Mr. Depp to face days of cross-examination in which the star admitted to only hazily remembering some events because he was high on drugs. "We are a crime scene waiting to happen," Mr. Depp wearily told Amber in one recorded exchange played in court. Johnny vehemently rejects accusations he hurt Amber while battling a drug addiction over a 3-year time span that ended with her 216 decision to get a restraining order and file for divorce. He and his legal team branded Amber a manipulative. I lost my space here. Fanaticist who made up the allegations for money and personal fame to destroy his life. Amber, for her part, said she loved the sober Mr. Depp, but he became a monster after days-long binges on powerful prescription medications and other drugs. And NGN, that's the Sun, relied on defense of truth, arguing that they had a valid basis for their 2018 story by detailing 14 alleged instances of Mr. Depp abusing Ms. Heard. Let's see if there's anything else. Looks like that might be one of the only reports on this, or maybe this one. Let's see. BBC. So, well, did that surprise you guys? That's surprising. I don't know where the, hold on. I have to go back here. Okay. He lost. What do you think about that, Pitbull? That he lost. Seemed like he was going to win. Hey, Grand Piano, where's Scooter? Scooter Grand Piano's here. Mr. Shannonite's here too. Hi, Mr. Shannonite. Hi, Grand Piano. Where were you, Grand Piano?
Mr. Shannonite is here?
Yeah.
Right on cue. It must be time to go.
No, and Grand Piano's here too.
Oh. Clark Kent and Superman are in the same room? Just kidding. I don't think Grand Piano is Mr. Shannonite. That was a joke.
I think
Call
he
in,
did
Mr.
some-
Shannonite.
think he
Say
did.
good night to us. I want to hear your voice. Mr. Shannonite.
I don't know why you have it out for Mr. Shannonite. How come you pick on Mr. Shannonite? Really, seriously, because he's on because it's morning in the UK now.
Okay.
That Pitbull comes in
Right.
around this time too,
That's great.
and he's
So
real.
great.
And so and like J Bells, and they're real.
Okay.
Does anybody else in here think Mr. Shannonite is not real? Anybody else share that? I'm just curious. 'Cause you're
I mean, the person behind Mr. Shannonite is real.
what?
The person behind Mr. Shannonite is real, but I think it's one of the. Anyway,
One
we'll
of the
call
who?
in Mr. Shannonite. Let's see your face and hear your voice. Cricket?
Grand piano's here, Scooter.
Mr. O'Shannonite.
Mr. Mandy, thank you, Mandy. Thank you, Mandy Hall.
What? I'm not reading chat. I'm not.
Mandy
I don't have
Hall's
chat.
in the UK, and she said Mr. Shannonite is real.
Oh, Mandy,
It's true.
you're a mod.
Thank you, Mandy. No, that's not a bird, Lou. It's this flying squirrel.
What are the receipts, Mandy? How do you know?
Because he's in a lot of other chats, Alicia.
Yeah,
you-
but I know a lot of people who with different screen names that are in a lot of chats.
Grand Piano is really here, Scooter. I mean it.
I know one creator that has like 10.
Okay.
She admits it.
But how come you don't think like Pitbull's not real?
Because I've heard him on channels. Like, I've heard his voice.
You've heard
I've heard-
I've never heard Pitbull's voice. You're
What are you
thinking a rabid
talking
dog.
about?
You're thinking a rabid dog.
Oh, yeah,
Certain
that's what I'm
people.
talking about.
I've never heard Pitbull's voice, and yet I know Pitbull
Okay,
is
then
real.
never mind. You know what? I mixed them up. So was I just saying, hey, Pitbull coming to?
Yeah.
Oh, you're like, what are you doing, Isha?
Mr. Shannonite
I
is
I did. You're right. I didn't even notice that.
all right, look,
I don't follow YouTube, and I'm not in any of those things. I
I
don't
know, but Mandy is friends with Mr. Shannonite. And Mr. Shannonite has been around a long time. I'm telling you. I don't know why you have it like out for Mr. Shannonite.
I don't have it out for him at
But
all.
it's the only one like you say. Like if I say hi Pitbull. or-
Because like just comments he makes and stuff. Like,
but he
it's
never says
just-
anything bad. I think we have. You might
no,
have the
I
wrong
know.
person.
I'm
Like,
not saying anything bad about him.
okay.
I guess I'm calling him out in a nice way. He's so nice and okay. I will, and I like the name. I like to say Mr. Shannonite.
Mr. Shannonite.
It's so funny. I totally
He's a real
mixed up
person because before he came here, I knew
Rabid
him.
Bull,
No, Pitbull.
Pitbull, and Rabid Dog. I totally did that. I didn't even realize it. And now I'm calling him Rabid Bull. See, now I'm calling you Sherilyn. Now, Carolyn, we're not as sharp as you. We all need more than 4 hours sleep.
Mandy says he's funny and he likes to make jokes.
Have you met him? Have you seen his face? Have you heard his voice? What does he look like?
But have you
Joe,
heard
what's
Kevin Leonard's voice? See, that's what I'm saying. I'm just wondering why, because you seem like it's Mr. Shannonite for you. Like
Because I've seen Kevin Leonard
you've seen his
in other chats.
Okay, but Mr. Shannonite's been in other chats.
Okay, well, I haven't seen that.
Okay.
Well, and he was a mod for somebody. Like, I mean, okay, I know that she actually has one
But
of her.
Mr. Shannonite, I think, has been a mod for people, but on UK channels and stuff.
I don't know. He just comes in and he's cheery and he's like, nice bot.
Oh, Mandy,
Nice Bot and
has
Mr.
seen.
Shannonite
Okay,
are
it's done
cousins.
because Mandy's seen him and heard his voice.
Mandy, love you, girl. But
'Cause I
it's okay. And it's not bad. I'm not saying it's bad. That was the feeling I got. And I just said it.
Yeah.
I could be totally
I know
wrong.
you're real, Cripple. I know that. I know Mr. Shannonite is real too.
And so is the Tooth Fairy and the Easter Bunny.
But anyway, I think we're gonna go because I'm exhausted.
And Mr. Shannonite came in.
So yeah, and then like I said, I'm going to go into the grief group, and we're going to do a grief panel, a special one, and then I have to have the Patreon and the member meetings, and I'm going to do those this week. I want to do both of those because things have gotten away, and I want to get back on track. And then also, I said in the Patreon group, the Patreons were supposed to request like a case, and I still haven't seen that unless I'm missing it somewhere. So that, and then I've got to get the members. I'm going to try to watch that movie, which I think I have a new way to do it. So all of that stuff. But the grief panel, I know people have asked for the grief panel because it's going into the holidays. So we're going to do that and whatever. So yeah, but I'm going to go to bed now, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.
Thanks, Carolyn.
You're welcome. And if you haven't seen what, I did put up the second video of the calls. I did a little analysis of that. If you haven't seen it, you should check that out. And all right, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Thanks to all the moderators in the chat. You can do whatever, past or present, Mandy. Just let's get some people in there talking, because I went and in there and I'm like, let's go. Okay, so see if you can stir it up, Mandy, in there. All right, and I'll see you guys. Bye, Carol and everybody. Tomorrow. All right, take care. Prayers for all that need them. God bless. Love you guys. See you. Goodbye. Let me get us out of here. Bye, Alicia. Thank you
Bye.
for reading, and Nana Patty. Thanks.